नहीं होती जो थोड़ी फ्रूट खाई बैठे के लिए
சரியான
ये म्यूट अच्छा
So, an update, please. Meeting is going to start very soon. Our chief guest and chairman will arrive very soon. So, please be here for a few minutes. A very good afternoon to all respected dignitaries, speakers, and participants of Interface Meeting. Chief guest of the Interface Meeting, Honorable DDG Animal Sciences, Dr. B.N. Tripathi, sir. Guest of honor, Director Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh, Dr. P.K. Sharma, sir. Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor IVRI, Dr. Triveni Dutt, sir. Joint Directors at Izzat Nagar, Bengaluru, and Mukteshwar campuses. Station in charges of Palampur, Kolkata, and Pune stations. Head of divisions, section in charges, PI Cast, PI AVI Raftar, scientists, and the principal stakeholders of today's interface. That is the flag bearers of our profession in the field, veterinary officers of Animal Husbandry Department, and KVKs from the hill state of Himachal Pradesh. I, Dr. Anuj Chauhan, in charge ITMUs at TMC at IVRI Izzat Nagar, extend a very warm welcome in the inaugural session of Interface Meeting Series, the first in the series of many meetings planned for the year 2023. These are conducted as the part of national campaign on advances in animal health and production on the occasion of nationwide celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The chief mandate of this meeting is to make the field veterinary officers aware about the latest advancements and technologies developed by IVRI for improving livestock health and production. To commence the session, it is kindly requested to play the ICR and IVRI songs.
जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की, सुखद प्रतीक हरित भारत की। कृषि धन पशुधन मानव जीवन, दुग्ध मत्स्य फल यंत्र सुवर्धन। वैज्ञानिक विधि नव तकनीके, पारिस्थितिकी का संरक्षण। शस्य श्यामला छवि भारत की, जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की। हिम प्रदेश से सागर तट तक, मरुधरती से पूर्वोत्तर तक। हर पथ पर है मित्र कृषक की, शिक्षा शोध प्रसार सकल तक। आशा स्वावलंबित भारत की, जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की। जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की। मानव प्रिय कृषि सहचर हित रत, जय हो पशु संस्थान। भारत के कोने कोने तक पहुँचा नव विज्ञान। 19वीं सदी प्रथमोदय, ऊना मुक्तेश्वर नव आलय। इज्जत नगर बना मुख्यालय, अभिनव अनुसंधान। बना विश्वविद्यालय, शिक्षण शोध चिकित्सा पशु संवर्धन। ग्राम अभ्युदय श्वेत क्रांति, सहयोगी शुभ वरदान। जय हो पशु संस्थान। विविध व्याधि के टीके निर्मित, रोग अनेक हुए उन्मूलित। वृंदावनी सदृश गौ विकसित, जन पोषक अभियान। मानव प्रिय कृषि सहचर हित रत, जय हो पशु संस्थान।
It is indeed a matter of great pleasure and pride for each of us here at IVRI to receive the blessings of our Honorable DDG Sir in the event. As a gesture of reverence and gratitude, I request Director and Vice Chancellor IVRI to please present a floral bouquet to our Honorable Chief Guest. Thank you, sir. I now invite Joint Director Extension Education, IVRI, Dr. Roopsi Tiwari Madam, to present the welcome address of the interviews.
Good afternoon and a warm welcome to the Interface Meeting Series 2023. This is the first meeting in the series being held this year with the Animal Husbandry Department and the Krishi Vigyan Kendras of Himachal Pradesh State as a part of the nationwide celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. At the outset, I wish to extend my heartiest welcome to Dr. B.N. Tripathi Sir, Deputy Director General Animal Sciences, who has consented to our request to grace this function as chief guest in spite of his busy schedule. Sir, we are highly thankful to you for your kind presence in this program and for sparing your valuable time. Your benign presence in this program have added a greater significance, and we look forward to your guidance and kind blessings in the future also. Heartiest welcome to Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director, Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh, and the guest of honor of today's program for his kind presence and for nominating the veterinary professionals of the department for participating in this meet. Sir, we are thankful for your gracious presence on this occasion, and we look forward to a very strong linkage with the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh for all future programs. Warm welcome to Dr. Triveni Dutt Sir, Director and Vice Chancellor of IVRI, who has been a major source and motivation behind this organization of this event in a grand manner. Sir, we welcome you and thank you for sparing your valuable time and showing your constant support for every program of extension. Your presence today in the program will motivate all the participants here. Warm welcome to Dr. KP Singh, Joint Director Cadret, Dr. SK Medita, Joint Director Academic, Dr. AK Mohanty, Joint Director Mukteshwar, Dr. Pallav Chaudhary, Joint Director Bengaluru Campus for their gracious presence. Heartfelt welcome to Dr. Gorakhmal, Station in Charge, Iveri Regional Station, Palampur, and the coordinators of this program, Dr. Birbal, Dr. Rinku, and Dr. Akhilesh, for this constant support in liaising the program with the Department of Himachal Pradesh, for mobilizing officials of KVKs and scientists of the Institute for participation in the meet. Warm welcome to all the station in charges, heads of the division, faculty, scientists, PI of RKVY Raftar, PI of the CAST, and the students who have gathered here and who are connected with this program today. I hope the deliberations in the program prove beneficial to you. Warm and heartfelt welcome to all the additional directors, joint directors, deputy directors, CVO, SVO, veterinary officers, veterinary pharmacists, and all other staff of the State Department of Animal Husbandry of the Himachal Pradesh, and the Krishi Vigyan Kendra in charges and SMS of Himachal Pradesh, who have spared their valuable time for the meet. We feel that the deliberations in the meet would be highly useful for you in chalking out future research and training programs in a collaborative manner. Last but not the least, a warm welcome to the chairperson, co-chairperson, rapporteurs, and speakers and coordinators of this technical session, which will be held just after the inaugural program. Just about this interface meet, actually, it is one of the most important extension program being taken up by this institute since 2009, when our Honorable Director Sir was heading the extension family as Joint Director Extension Education. He has initiated these interface meets with various stakeholders like the Animal Husbandry Department, Krishi Vigyan Kendras, milk cooperatives, NGOs, and the industries. Since then, the institute is regularly organizing these interface meets on an average 4 to 5 every year. Earlier these were in the physical mode, but during COVID, we tried to experiment this with the hybrid mode in virtual meet also. And these type of meets are now consuming less time, funds, and energy of the organizers as well as the participants. This year, the target is to organize a total of 11 such interface meets across the country with different states among various stakeholders, and this is the first one in this series. The major mandate of this meeting is to generate need-based researchable issues by having a dialogue with the stakeholders and also to develop collaborative extension research and education programs and promote the technology transfer. One such interface meet was held with the State Department of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh in 2021. Before going any further, we will first take a glimpse of what were the deliberation in last year and the action initiated, and we would like to lay down our expectations of the this interface meet with the State Department of Animal Husbandry and KVK for today's program. In today's program, we have a total of 414 participants who have registered, and I think more than 350 have already joined the program. So let's see the slides, please. Next slide, please. So this was the main 2 points that emerged. First was lack of quality feed in the state that are deterrent. It was taken up by Dr. P.K. Sharma, the Director, Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh. So the action taken include, we have started study on agro-waste based feed technology. Then we have started study on starch-based multi-nutrient supplement. And then attempts are also being made to give nutritional security to the livestock through the distribution of various inputs and trainings through the DAPSC, that is the SCSP, and the TSP activities. Then the second point was availability of early pregnancy diagnostic kits for use in field condition. Since that time, it was talked about that the kits are costly when they are imported. So indigenous pregnancy detection kit has been developed by ICR Ivory for ruminants and wild animals, but its validation, upscaling, and commercialization is yet to be done. Apart from that, CIRB Hisar and NDRA Karnal have also developed these kits for ruminants. NRC Equine Hisar has also developed such kit for mares. So if the requirement is there with the department, they can collaborate with the concerned institutes and also wait for the technology to be commercialized by the Agri Innovate. Right now, these are not there in the Agri Innovate. So this is the first one about the feed. They have taken up development and evaluation of agro-waste-based feed technology and its effect on overall performance of goats. And the salient achievement has been that the apple pomace plus spent mushroom residue, this 5 months of feeding this particular combination significantly improved the feed conversion ratio, antioxidant, and serum lipid profile of Gaddi goat kits. So this product can replace maize in the feed up to 32%, and the meat quality is antioxidant enriched with an improved lipid profile. Next, please. This is the second project taken up, evaluation of starch-based multi-nutrient supplements for improving productive and reproductive performance of gaddi goats. This is still in continuation. They have procured the agro-industrial byproducts and send it for proximate analysis, and the studies are still in continuation. And these are some of the glimpses of the input distribution and the trainings and the other extension activities through the STSP and TSP program, through which the livelihood generation and also the feed availability is being improved. Next, please. Today, in this particular interface meeting, we had around 414 registrations. Around 31% are female who are participating here, and around majority of the degree is MBSc, although we have BVSc and PhD degrees also, along with many other, because we have the pharmacist and other livestock, other personals of the department joining. Next slide, please. Then we have, these are the participants of various departments. So 73% is the State Department of Animal Husbandry of Himachal Pradesh participants, apart from the ICR institutes and some others. Actually, this is the electronic linkage, and apart from the KVK, around 17 people from KVK of Himachal Pradesh have also joined. And there are many other people joining from various states, since it was an electronic link, so they have joined it. So this Himachal, this is the state distribution. You can see that Himachal Pradesh maximum 304 participants. Apart from that, Uttar Pradesh, of course, our scientists and all. Apart from that, maybe around 6 to 7 states are further joining this, and they are taking benefit of this particular program. Next slide, please. Now, we also circulated while taking registration few questions, 4 questions basically, and the responses are these. We asked them what is the most significant problems of livestock in your region. And they have reported their answers, like the repeat breeding is a major problem, hematoprotozoan diseases, tick infestation, metabolic disorder, non-availability of green fodder. These were the major ones, apart from the plant toxicity, mastitis, and FMD. Next slide, please. Back.
Mastitis, repeat breeding, toxicity, hematoprotozoan problem.
These have been given by the doctors of the personals of that state.
Mal, नहीं वहाँ का वहीं का
Himachal Pradesh.
Like repeat breeding का problem.
Tick infestation. नहीं main तो repeat breeding, anistra,
Next slide, please. Problem faced by you in diagnosis and treatment of animals. जब ये सवाल पूछा गया, so majority they have replied lack of diagnostic facilities. Apart from that, they want to learn about differential diagnosis. They also are having a problem of poor quality of sample received in their labs. So these things, certain things are there which we can now take up after this. Lack of follow-up treatment, people are not bringing their animals back. Non-availability of pen site tests, lack of surgical skills. Poultry disease diagnosis, post-mortem finding interpretations is a big problem. Then lack of knowledge of latest techniques, advances, and the procedures in detection, diagnosis, and treatment. Next slide, please. So the technology required by the veterinary officers, we have asked them what are your requirements. So they have asked the diagnostic laboratory with trained staff. Of course, it's not a technology, but their requirement is this. Then improvement of feed resources, they need technology in this area. Mini diagnostic kits they are needing, solution for repeat breeding, and heat detection kits also they need. Next slide, please. Area in which you require training. These are various areas wherein we can think of developing collaborative training programs, like latest technologies for diagnosis, value addition of milk, gynecological problem and management, post-mortem techniques, silage and azola making, radiography, ultrasonography, and blood transfusion, epidemiology, clinical medicine, toxicological investigation. These are various areas we can think of developing collaborative programming. Technology requirement by for animal farmers. This was also asked to them, and they have replied that they want train people on the scientific management of commercial dairy, goat, and pig farm. They need kit for early detection of pregnancy, as reported by the veterinarians for the farmers. Value addition of animal products, although we have a lot of technologies available that we can share with them and they can take from us. Small feed units they want. Then they want technology to determine accurate timing of artificial insemination. So we have IVRA crystoscope that is already commercialized to 5 companies that can be taken. Then training on making of silage and UMB they want, and then mobile app consultation. So this actually we are having online veterinary clinic. So this can be, they can get onboarded on this online veterinary clinic and take help of our 74 doctors that are registered from IVRA. Next slide, please. Would you like to suggest any researchable issue in animal health sector to be undertaken? So this is one of the important mandates of interface. So this is what they have replied. They want to have prevalence of hemoprotozoan disease, this particular, although we have a number of research going on, utilization of native unconventional forages, use of indigenous plants in animal health and production, preventive measures from any disease outbreaks, infertility in relation to mineral and dietary deficiencies, metabolic disorder in large animals, antibiotic resistance pattern. So these were the some areas that they have provided through the Google Forms. Although after this, in this meeting, in the technical session, we will be having the deliberations with the veterinary officers, where they are free to provide more such issues that they are facing, which they forgot to put in the Google Forms. Next slide, please. So with this, thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for providing the overview and the participant profile of the interface meeting, and also the action taken reports of interface meeting held in 2021, and for laying out the theme and main objectives and our expectations from interface meeting, for outlining the most significant problems and suggesting the trainings and technologies required for discussion. It is a matter of great pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Dr. P.K. Sharma, sir, Director, Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh, in the program. For the benefit of esteemed gathering, I'll offer a glimpse of his career of sir. Sir joined as veterinary officer in 1998 at Kafota and rose to the position of Assistant Director in Directorate of Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh in 2013, and as Deputy Director Epidemiology in 2017. Sir joined as Joint Director SNW in the Directorate in 2019, while also executing the roles as Registrar, Himachal Pradesh State Veterinary Council and Para-Veterinary Council. Sir has adorned the present position of Director Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh since September 2021. Sir, we at IVRI welcome you and are keen to hear your views and ideas and benefit from your rich experience in the field in the interface meeting on the advances in animal health and production. I most graciously invite you for your address, sir.
Thank you and good afternoon, everybody. Today's interface meet chief guest Dr. Tripathi and other dignitaries like Dr. Triveni. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. I am highly privileged to be a guest of honor with such dignitaries of IVRA and this ICR also. Last time also we have organized such interface meet with the help of ICR, and a special thanks to Dr. Gorakhmal also. He has managed the things at Palumpur, and repeatedly this time also he has asked to give me some proper time. So I have spared few days, three dates I have given to him, and he has chosen 9th of this June. And this time interface meet of first interface meet of Himachal Pradesh, and the main topic was advances in animal health and production. Regarding animal husbandry department in Himachal Pradesh, I want to apprise a little figures. And we have nearly 44 lakhs of livestock population and 13 lakhs of poultry production in the state, and livestock 25 lakhs of large animals and 19 lakhs of the sheep and goat population in Himachal Pradesh, and most of the sheep and goat population will be the pastoralist community. As far as infrastructure of this department is concerned, nearly 500 veterinary hospitals, including polyclinics and zonal hospitals, and 3,000 veterinary dispensaries, with nearly 500 veterinary officers, senior veterinary officers and other officers, and 3,000 parabets. They are this giving services to the department, and department is providing services at the doorstep of maximum farmers in the state. And in the routine services, we are providing the treatment aspect, then your vaccination, artificial insemination facilities of central government program under NAP, vaccination schedules. I am happy to learn that ICR is doing a good job and many researches which can be applicable to the field for the last so many years. And especially I will raise the issue of you have done a good job on this fodder scarcity in the state and pomace and other things, additives. We are also planning to use this pomace as a feed. Secondly, state is facing the problem of stray cattle also. There is a stray cattle menace in the state, and last time government has initiated the move to establish cattle sanctuaries in the state to accommodate these stray cattle. But we are not achieving those results which were expected by the government and our department also. So I would like to request IVRE also to have some sort of, you can say, treatment or any solution for this problem in the state, because people, they are releasing all the unproductive animals, male animals on the roads, and we are tagging also most of the animals roaming on the roads, but people are cutting ear tags. That is the main problem of the state. Last time also, I appreciate all the officers, parabets, those who have worked 24/7 to contain the lumpy skin disease in the state, and nearly 140,000 animals perfected with this disease, and 11,000 animals we have lost. There was no provision of compensation in the state. We have requested the government of India to release the compensation through disaster management. One still failed to do that, and people have suffered a lot of economic loss in the state. ICR also developed this vaccine, but we are only using this goat pox vaccine in the state, and a few cases of recurrence of the vaccinated animals has been reported in the state. So I request the scientists of the IVRI to have some solution for this, for non-recurrence of the LSD after vaccination, or some solution of good quality vaccine to be provided for the state also.
Very mild, very minute lesion.
Very mild lesion, but some cases have been reported in the state. That's why I am informing this before the dignitaries and scientists of IVRI. Today's this interface meet will benefit all the officers to have interaction, wider interaction. A few problems has been raised by our officers. I think with the collaboration of IVRI, we will be able to settle those things. Facing the problem of diagnosis or lab technicians or some small kits for PD. Once again, I congratulate IVRA dignitaries and officials to organize this interface meet and giving the first preference to the Himachal Pradesh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views and providing a glimpse into the activities and programs of Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh, and also for highlighting the problems of livestock and the prominent requirement of diagnostics and vaccine solutions. And I hope the meeting addresses these problems. So it is a pleasure to have the gracious and charismatic presence of Honorable Director cum Vice Chancellor ICR IVRI, Dr. Triveni Dutt sir, under whose dynamic and proactive leadership, the Institute scientists are tapping the multifaceted opportunities for innovation and excellence in research, teaching and extension, and marching ahead to glorious new heights in veterinary profession. At IVRI, we all have been a witness of painstaking efforts taken by Honorable Sir, paving the path for making IVRI as a global university, as a NAAC accredited institution, and many such ambitious initiatives. His passion and boundless energy is shaping us all to work together to meet the nation's expectations. Sir, I humbly invite you for your address in the meeting.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anuj. Very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable DDG, Dr. V.N. Tripathi, sir, esteemed Director, Animal Husbandry, Dr. P.K. Sharma ji, esteemed Joint Director colleague from IVRI, Dr. A.P. Singh, Joint Director Cadet, Dr. Mary Datta, Joint Director Academic, Dr. Roopsi Tiwari, Joint Director Excellence in Education, distinguished Head of Divisions of the Premier Institutes, and our distinguished officials working in the field. So, a very good afternoon and warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of Institute, I welcome Dr. V.N. Tripathi sir and Dr. P.K. Sharma ji for sparing their valuable time for this very important interface meet. This interface meet is a very robust platform for the institute, not only to provide the technology backup of institute, but also to generate the researchable issues based on the field experience. We have a very strong linkage with the State Department of Palampur. Since very beginning, 2009, even before 2009, we are providing the various capacity building program for the state officials, like veterinary officers and veterinary pharmacists. So we have a very good linkage, and regularly we are following this important programs, and we are also, whenever we are having some important researchable issue, we immediately come on board to solve the problem. So as a whole of IVRI, this institute is a pan-India presence, and making ready solutions to the stakeholders. And with our more than 133 years of existence, we have developed a series of immunologicals for protecting the health of the animals. And this institute, working with full-fledged 6 joint directorates and various 19 our research divisions, and also 28 various sections. We have 5 full-fledged livestock farms with 12 various important and precious germ plots of the country, maintaining 1,730 animals. So this is in brief, and also through these platforms, we are providing the national services to various our department. This cadre is full-fledged our department working as a TDDL also, and this center is basically dedicated for our disease diagnosis and to attend various outbreaks across the state, and also providing the national advisories officer, making this after attending the outbreak and giving proper diagnosis. So this, in addition to this, we are also providing technical backstopping to various our NADCP programs and also the other important program, livestock health and disease control programs. And this is the only institute who are providing quality control testing services to various national disease control programs. And we are also providing various kind of required reasons and the capacity buildings to various stakeholders in this areas. In addition to this, around the 11 regions we are providing to various state department of biologicals for diagnosis through our biological product division. And we have providing the national services to various zoos, safaris, rescue centers, and various loin and other conservation centers through our Center for Wildlife. This Center for Wildlife not only providing the diagnostic services to the nation, but also we are providing regularly the health package to various wildlife maintained at various zoos, safaris, and rescue centers. And we have full-fledged referral veterinary polyclinic through which we are getting referral patient across various states. And recently we have expanded our referral veterinary polyclinic services through our online veterinary clinic. So we have on board around 50 plus our expert working at IVRI on this online veterinary clinic. And through this OVC, online veterinary clinic, we are providing services to various veterinary hospitals and advanced centers who are dedicated their services to livestock. And you see, apart from this, the research R&D on our vaccines and diagnostics, we have deemed university status. Deemed university status since 1983, and we are imparting master education in 17 disciplines and PhD in 19 disciplines, and also the diploma in various 10 disciplines. Recently, on compliance of national education policy, we have expanded our horizon, and we have moved forward our educations, making educations multidisciplinary, holistic, and flexible. Making the education multidisciplinary, we have also initiated the these programs in various 6 undergraduate disciplines, and also we have also developed institutional development plan, wherein we are going to start 33 disciplines in master and also the 31 discipline in PhD. Recently, the deemed university of IVRI, they have published the various courses to be initiated by this IVRI. Courses like national diploma, courses like vocational education, training, and certificate courses. So these diploma, certificate, and other courses, vocational education courses are really required for our various kind of stakeholder. And the state line department are one of the important our stakeholder. And we expect the capacity building programs through our this advertisement. We have advertised the programs, postgraduate program, diploma programs, and certificate and vocational courses to be initiated. And through this this postgraduate diploma courses, around 22 courses we are going to start for the BBSc, MBSc, and also the 10+2 and BSc students. And around 90 various certificate vocational courses we are going to start from this month, from this academic session only. This certificate and vocational education courses, the 2 month, 1 month, and 1 week courses. The detail of the various diploma and vocational certificate and training courses to be initiated will be, I think, delivered by Dr. Anuj in later on. And this is the platform. This is the course. These are the courses we have started for the state line departments only on the request of the state line department. They have previously this 10-month diploma courses we were having, but on that course we were not receiving a good response. But based on the response, we have relaxed our qualifications also, and we have relaxed the guidelines also, and we have also added some of the important diploma courses. And the courses like the certificate and vocational courses we are going to start from this academic session. And these certificate and vocational education courses are really required by the state line department. And you see, based on the requirement of the state, we have developed the course module of these vocational education certificate and diploma courses. This is and if we see the IPR portfolio of this institute, we are very rich in IPR portfolio, and roughly 22 we have patent, and 22 design we have registered, and 41 copyrights and 40 technology around we have commercialized to 152 commercial houses. So we have a rich portfolio in this sense, and the interface meet, the purpose of interface meet with the state line department. State line department is one of the important our stakeholder. So whenever we are discussing the issues with the state line department, we also receive signal the need of the state. So based on the need of the state, we used to generate the researchable issues, and these researchable issues we used to focus in our various R&D activity. So this is one our important, and second is the capacity building is also the mandate of the state, of the various officials. And based on the requirement of the state, we have from this session we have developed our diploma courses, vocational education courses, certificate courses, and also the training courses. So we expect that whenever any requirement of the state as far as the capacity building programs of the officials are concerned, we would be very happy to organize various training activities. So the feedback of our field veterinary officials is also very important feedback of our technologies, so that these technologies can be upscaled after getting the feedback from the state veterinary officials. So, the researchable issues, generation of researchable issues, upscaling of technologies, and the feedback of our existing technologies, and also the capacity building of our state officials are main objective and target of these interface meet. So we expect the greater collaboration with the State Line Department of State Department of Animal Husbandry, Palampur, and we expect the whenever the state required the any certificate, trainings, and vocational education programs, and also the diploma courses. We have also advertised greatly, and today we have shared same document with all the state officials, senior state officials of the country. So we expect the participation of the state. So with this small brief, we are really grateful to the state officials of Palampur, our distinguished state veterinary officials working in the field. And we are also grateful to our Honorable DDG Animal Sciences, sparing his very valuable time. And with the hope that in future also, these are the very robust and very strong platform making greater collaboration with the state. So we will also organize this type of program with other state officials so that this institute and the human resource of this institute can be utilized in a great way to serve the various states. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the strong linkages of IVRI with the Animal Husbandry Department of Himachal Pradesh, and for briefing the participants about the research, referral, clinical and diagnostic and academic achievements of IVRI and the plans ahead. So thank you, sir, and we hope to get your gracious presence in the future meetings also, sir. It is a matter of great pleasure to welcome our chief guest, Honorable DDG Animal Science, Dr. B.N. Tripathi, sir. One of the most distinguished alumni of our institute, sir has chartered an illustrious career in ARS service, a recipient of several international and national awards, fellowships, visiting scientists and travel grants from Indian National Science Academy, Departments of Science and Technology, African Asian Society of Microbacteriology, besides several young scientists and best paper awards at renowned scientific forums. Sir has been the member of important administrative and research bodies, DBT Task Force, BOM Luvas, Gadwasu, RAC Luvas, Institute Animal Ethics Committee for Human Research at CCHU Hisar, to name only a few of them. Sir is a fellow of National Academy of Veterinary Sciences, Indian Association of Veterinary Pathologists, Society for Immunology and Immunopathology, Indian Society for Veterinary Immunology and Biotechnology, diplomat and charter member, Indian College of Veterinary Pathologists. Sir has donned prestigious positions as Director, National Institute of Animal Health, Director, NRC Equine. Under his leadership, NRC Equine was awarded with the Sardar Patel Outstanding ICR Institution Award 2015. Sir has been the Deputy Director General Animal Sciences ICR from 2020 to date. Most respected DDG, sir, we are most eager to hear your ideas and suggestions for the event.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Anuj. Thank you, Dr. Anuj. And greetings from Indian Council of Agricultural Research. My esteemed guest of honor, Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director of Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh. My esteemed colleague and Director of this institute, Dr. Triveni Dutt, Joint Directors of IVRI, Dr. K.P. Singh, Dr. Midiratta, Dr. Roopsi, and heads of divisions of IVRI, and all those distinguished senior veterinary officers who are linked with this program. I was told that more than 400 people have joined this interface meeting. That itself tells the importance of this meeting, how people are eager to listen. And IVRI has been conducting interface meetings for last several years. And last year, before last year, there have been almost 10 to 15 interface meetings they are conducting every year with the state and hospital departments. Is a part of continuing veterinary education, so that our field veterinarians, our senior officers, paravets, and those who are associated with animal husbandry would keep pace with the latest development of technology in the field of veterinary science and animal husbandry. So friends, I welcome you, all of you, and it is really It's really a good thing that all of you have come here, along with, we have got 4 distinguished speakers. They will be speaking on the major problems that have been identified by them based on the data that they have received from Himachal Pradesh, the disease profile, the problem related to nutrition, problem related to parasites, problem related to repeat breeding, and so on and so forth. So let me, I do not know much about Himachal Pradesh, is all. But as Dr. Sharma told that you have about 45 lakhs, 44 to 45 lakhs livestock. And your human population is about 70 lakhs. So itself, animals' importance is well evident that almost, if not equal, but almost ratio is very good. And that itself shows the importance of animal husbandry in the region. I do not know really that what Himachal Pradesh has got any state breeding policy or not. And how far these animals have been characterized and breed descripts are available for them. But on an average, in India, is still more than 50% of animals are still uncharacterized. We call them as a nondescript. And a similar situation might be there in Himachal Pradesh also. So we are also working on it. And I hope that one of the ICR Institute, National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources, must be in contact with all the veterinary directors of Dr. P.K. Sharma and also of Palampur Veterinary University and Veterinary College, how quickly we characterize all these animals, so that we should know that what genetic resources we have in the state. And accordingly, we can make your plan of development and improvement, etc. I was also, had some information that crossbreeding is rampant. Though there has been a negative growth of livestock during last 2 decades or so. But when you look at the crossbreeds and exotic, this population has increased double, 199%, almost 190% increase. So it is almost double. But overall, the indigenous population has decreased. On one side, you can say that your milk production might have increased because of crossbreeding program. But the government of India policy as such is that we have to propagate and proliferate indigenous breeds. I do not know, Dr. Sharma, whether he will be able to tell us that is there any program to upgrade those non-descript animals with indigenous descript animal, indigenous breeds, like our milk breed, Sahiwal, Sindhi, or Tarpaka, Conclave, Watson, and so forth. But indiscriminate cross-breeding with a cross-breeding program will certainly reduce the indigenous germplasm of the state, and that may not be sustainable in years to come. So we are also working on sustainability aspect, and that is a very, very important currently in the climate change ratio and the health problems and so on and so forth. So, of course, India has been doing good, and in all states, almost all states, the average is almost 30% animal husbandry contribution towards agricultural GDP. And your state must be around that also, which is increasing very fast. And also entire dairy sector and livestock sector is growing at the rate of almost 6%. And what we hope during 2047, we'll be having more than 628 million ton of milk. And currently, of course, you are on top of the world. You are producing more than 221 million ton of milk. Still, you are maintaining last 25 years first position and producing almost 22% of entire world milk. And the share is also from Himachal Pradesh equally important as far as the livestock population is concerned. I would like to remind veterinarians, you are the backbone. And if you look at your duties and profile what you do for everything. Except for treating humans, you take care of humans in every aspect. You are responsible for their food security. You are responsible for their nutritional security and also food safety, zoonotic diseases, meat inspectors, and so on and so forth. If you look at the profile of a veterinarian, your contribution is tremendous. And I will also encourage veterinarians not to feel anything that sometimes many veterinarians feel that if anybody asks what doctor you are, you say I'm a veterinary doctor. So say you are with the proud that yes, I'm a veterinarian. And such type of things will grow now. Because looking at the urbanization and further scope of veterinarians, it will going to increase. Agriculture growth is almost stagnant, less than 2.5%. And whatever growth is coming, it is coming from the animal husbandry, in fisheries and poultry sectors. And therefore, your importance is going to increase. And accordingly, your responsibility is also going to increase. Newer diseases are coming up. And you know that how LSD has devastated the entire country for the last 3 years. And similarly, many other diseases which the government of India is now has launched a program for DCP, on FMD, PPR, CSL, brucellosis. Now all these programs are running, and I hope that your department is fully following the animal husbandry, central animal husbandry department, protocols and others, vaccination of whether it is FMD or it is PPR or it is classical swine fever or brucellosis. Similarly, government may also launch LSD, the prevention and control program. This is a very dangerous disease, very highly, still it is 3 years only. In other African country, it has been lying there for more than 90 years. And was very difficult to eradicate once it is established in the country. And therefore, I request Dr. Sharma and his team to vaccinate all animals, whatever vaccine, whether it's a goat pox or LSD vaccine, homologous vaccine, you can also obtain from NRC on experimental basis. You can also try in one district and see the response, but vaccinate your animal, because we want to reduce the burden of the virus. Because once it is established, it will be again a fifth disease for the government of India to control it, and the cost is very high. So friends, now coming to health issue is the one thing that is always bothering everybody. But I think Dr. Sharma and his team must be aware. Now, Government of India is also running several improvement programs. And those improvement programs, you must be a part of that. AI is still 30-35%. The coverage, we have to increase in next 5 years by 70%. And similarly, sex women, there is also Government of India is providing all those supports, which must be, being followed by the state government. Vaccination schedule. The other fourth aspect, very important, is nutrition. And that is the problem, because almost 60 to 70% of cost of nutrition, this is your production of protein from animal, goes to nutrition. And that is very costly also. So we had a Palampur center there that is working exclusively on the nutrition aspect. For the last, I think, more than 5 decades, they have been working there, especially with the local feed sources, non-conventional feed sources. And they have analyzed all those feed stuffs available there, including fodder, tree plant, etc. And therefore, they use those knowledge and try to produce cost-effective feeding program there, so that your production cost could be reduced and the farmers can get better benefit. Now, other thing I would like to remind that now we are trying to follow the genomic selection program. The Indian chip, DNA chip is almost will be ready, and very soon it will be launched by the amalgamation of the chip produced by NIAB Hyderabad and NDDB and NBGR. So all these chips, they are producing one chip or a medium density chip, so that it can be affordable to farmers also. So that we can know which animal going to be a good bull. Instead of knowing the bull that is a progeny tested bull after 8 to 9 years, we know the calf, male calf, which is going to be a good bull. And accordingly, you can go rear it and provide all nutrition, etc. So the now to achieve those objectives that has been set by Government of India by 2047, 4 times. Currently, our cattle and buffalo milk productivity is almost 2000 kg, right? Now we want to make it to 8000 by 2047. When we achieve the 100 years of independence, and for that you have to prepare yourself. And for those achieving that much of a productivity of animal 8000, and you'll be producing almost 628 million ton of milk by that time. And India will be producing almost 45% of entire world milk production. Mind it, 45% of world. And world requirement will be 160 million ton. And out of that, 110 million ton will be provided by India only, exported by India. So you have to provide a platform for those, that much of milk. So a lot of scope in dairy sectors, a lot of people are, infrastructure is being developed. Government is also working on that. Similarly, on the other aspect, egg also, meat also. Currently, you are getting almost 95 eggs with 122 billion egg being produced by the country. And you are third largest broiler producer, fifth largest egg producers. And in that feed also, which is growing at the rate of 10%, and also you are part of those development. And similarly, your state is also work accordingly so that you can prepare yourself for next 25 years to achieve the goal of the national government. Now, next problem is your repeat breeding and reproductive problem. Now, country is AI coverage is very less, 30% only. And only it has spread to almost, not to the farmers level. The government objective is to reach around 70% AI level in next 5 years. And accordingly, they have, produced new AI centers and then frozen cement centers, all they have produced it. But the next technology that has come and has been adopted by the government, that was of course perfected by ICR, was IVF, OPU IVF, ovum pickup in vitro fertilization technology. That Government of India has almost opened 30 centers throughout the country. So now IVF technology is now going to be very popular. And I think your state might also be getting some of the share of those centers, and also some subsidy also on that. And the latest technology that has been developed by NDRI is the cloning technology. Though it has not been adopted yet, but I suppose that this is technology of next 20 years. People will adopt it because we can produce a copy of any good bull. You can produce many copies in a period of few years. And current requirement of breeding bull, buffalo, as well as cattle is almost 10,000 for the country. And almost we have got only 4,500 cattle and cow bull and buffalo bull. So we are at a short of 50%. And this shortage can only be achieved by these new technologies like IVF, like clone technology, so that our objective can be met. And you will be having almost 166 1.63 billion people by the turn of 2050. So you can imagine then what is the pressure on the veterinarians, how you are going to feed these people, meet their requirement of protein and eggs and meat, etc. So I really encourage all veterinarians that your importance is going to increase tremendously in future. And with urbanization, which is going to be almost about 55% people, or even 60% will be in city, your requirement, veterinarians' requirement to have a better and smart livestock production and climate resilient livestock production will be more for you. The more responsibility is going to lie over you, and then perhaps you have to meet those requirements. I think today's interface meeting is a two-way process also. We can also raise question. Our distinguished speakers will be speaking on different aspects for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can note your question. You can also tell your problems, what problems you are facing in the field. So that accordingly, we can also work on those problems and provide you better solution for that. So that is the purpose of this. And Dr. P.K. Sharma, continuing veterinary education program, you must continue it. You have to ensure that your 500 veterinarians should get at least one on-site training once in 5 years, at least 2-3 such like online trainings, so that they should be well aware of the technologies being developed, and they can also really reach to the farmers. Currently, the rate of technology transmission animal science technology in field is only 5 to 10%. So you can imagine that only with the 5 to 10% technology going to the farmers, you are achieving excellence in animal husbandry in the country or in the state. Then what will happen if you transmit all technologies that we develop in the laboratory to farmers, at the vaccine technology and health coverage technology, whatever we have, AI technology and IVF technology, and so many things are feeding technology. And I'll also request veterinarians that normally vet's mind is that we have to do only health coverage. Your job is not only health coverage. Your job is multifarious. You have to go for the improvement of animals also. You have to also advise farmers that what kind of animals they should rear, what kind of feeding schedule they should follow, what kind of health calendar they should follow, so that they can take maximum productivity from the animals. And that is our duty as a veterinarian. So with this, I wish all the best to Dr. Sharma and the entire 500 veterinarians team and paravets who are here to listen the distinguished lectures from our speakers and get fresh their knowledge. So with this, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views on the importance of this interface and highlighting the expectations and targets set by national government from scientists and veterinarians. And sir has laid down important action points in terms of animal genetic resources upgradation, cost-effective feeding program, importance of genomic selection and increasing productivity in line with the target set for 2047, and emphasizing on more focused and training and technology transfer from the institutes. Sir, we truly cherish your benign presence and hope to receive your blessings in our future programs. I now request Station in Charge Palampur, Dr. Gorakmal sir, to deliver the vote of thanks for the inaugural session.
Most honorable and distinguished Chief Guest Dr. B.N. Tripathi, DDG Animal Science, ICR Krishi Bhavan, New Delhi. Honorable Guest of Honor Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh. Most esteemed and venerated Dr. Triveni Dutt, Vice Chancellor cum Director ICAR IVRI Ijit Nagar, and Dr. Rupsi Tiwari, Joint Director Extension Education ICR IVRI Ijit Nagar. Dr. K.P. Singh, Joint Director Cardrat ICR IVRI Ijit Nagar. Dr. S.K. Mandiratta, Joint Director Academics ICR IVRI Ijit Nagar. Dr. A.K. Mohanty, Joint Director Mukteswar Campus. Dr. Pallav Chaudhary, Joint Director Bengaluru Campus. Dr. P.S. Banerjee, Station in Charge ERS Kolkata. Head of Divisions, Section in Charges, my colleagues and participants, a very good afternoon. On behalf of ICR IVRI, I feel immense pleasure to propose a vote of thanks to Dr. B.N. Tripathi, Deputy Director General DDG Animal Science, ICR Krishi Bhavan, New Delhi. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Sir, who has spared his precious time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion and enlighten all of us with innovative ideas. Thank you so much, sir. I would further extend the hearty thanks and deep gratitude to Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director, Animal Husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh, for his enthusiastic support. Thank you so much, sir, for deputing veterinary officials of animal husbandry Department, Himachal Pradesh. I would like to take this opportunity to record my deep regards and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Triveni Dutt sir, Vice Chancellor cum Director, ICR IVR Nagar, for the right support and generous guidance for organizing the interface meeting. This is being first in 2023. Director sir has been truly an inspirational personality for all of us. Sir, we will never forget the kind gesture extended to us. I would especially thank to Dr. Roopsi Tiwari, Joint Director, Extension Education, ICR IVR Nagar, for being a constant source of motivation and guiding force in our endeavor and efforts to organize the interface meeting. On behalf of ICR IVRA Regional Station Palampur, express our deep sense of respect and gratitude for the benevolent directions and support from Joint Directors, Dr. KP Singh, Dr. S.K. Mandiratta, Dr. A.K. Mohanty, Dr. Pallav Chaudhary. A special thanks to Dr. Kiran Bilegaonkar, Head BPH and Coordinator Interface Meetings, all members of organizing committees at ICR IVRA Nagar and ICR IVRA Regional Station Palampur for their unflinching support and coordination. My deep sense of heartfelt thanks and appreciation goes to all the participants, Joint Director, Deputy Director, Assistant Directors from State Animal Husbandry Departments, Senior Veterinary Officers and Higher Officers, Dean College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, CSKHPK Palampur, Project Coordinator of KVK under CSKHPK Palampur, all station in charges and IVR faculty who are attending this interface meeting. Finally, I would like to thank all the known and unknown hands that contributed towards this remarkable event. And in the end, thank you all so very much for being with us today. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I welcome Dr. A.K. Tiwari, sir, Director CRI Nagar in the interface meeting. And with this, we are done with the inaugural session. I now hand over the proceeding to Chairman of Technical Session, Dr. Kiran Bilegaonkar. So, we'll start with the technical session, and the technical session will be chaired by Dr. Kiran Bilegaonkar, sir, Head VPH, co-chaired by Dr. Birbal Singh, sir, and the rapporteur of session will be Dr. Suman Kumar, and it will be coordinated by Dr. Rinku Sharma and Dr. Akhilesh Kumar.
Good afternoon. Is it audible? Good afternoon to all. Honorable Deputy Director General Dr. B.N. Tripathi, today Chief Guest, Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, and today's guest of honor, Dr. Triveni Dutt, the Director cum Vice Chancellor of ICR IVRA, Dr. A.K. Tiwari, Director CARI Nagar, Dr. K.P. Singh, Joint Director Cadret, Dr. Mandiratta, Joint Director Academy, and today's coordinator of this event, Dr. Roopsi Tiwari, Joint Director Extension, all joint directors of the campuses, station in charges, heads of the department, and all the dear officers who have joined from Himachal Pradesh State Animal Husbandry Department and Krishi Vigyan Kendras. Today's expert speakers who are here, I welcome you all to this technical session of this interface meet. And from your feedback, the topics have been decided which are important for you, and you have given the feedback about the topics which are relevant to you. So accordingly, today's speakers will talk on these important topics. And since we have a limited time, I would request all the speakers to be a little crisp and try to finish it within a short time, maybe within 7-8 minutes or 10 minutes maximum. And for participants, please put your questions in the chat box. We will take one after another speakers' addresses, and then we will have a interactive session. We would like to keep more time for interactive sessions, so please put your questions in the chat box. So I would like to first invite Dr. Anuj Chauhan, who will be giving talk on the IVRI technologies. So over to you, Dr. Anuj.
Thank you, sir. So, good afternoon again to all, and I'll be presenting the IVRI technology portfolio for animal health and production. Next slide, please. So, as we are running short on time because of busy schedule of the chief guest, sir, I'll come directly to the business end. Please go to next slide. Next. So you can move back now. First slide. So next slide, please. I'll give a brief overview of the objectives of ITMU and ZTMC, which we have here at the IVRI. So there's a three-tier structure of ITMU, ZTMC, and ATMC. So ITMU is at institute level, and zonal agriculture technology management centers, they have many institutes on board. Like we have 10 institutes on board our ZTMC, and then the final level at headquarters, ATMC. Next, please. So this is the three-tier system, and we collaborate with Agri-Innovate India, which is a for-profit firm by Government of India for commercializing all the technologies developed by ICR institutes. Next, please. So coming to the main part, the portfolio of IVRI. So IVRI has filed 98 patents, of which 32 have been granted, of which 3 are joint patents. We have filed 26 industrial designs and granted registered 21. 44 copyrights have been filed, and we have received 42 copyrights. And based on these different technologies, we have generated a revenue of 1063.54 lakhs. Until date, 40 technologies have been commercialized. Primarily among them is vaccines, followed by diagnostic, engineering designs, livestock products, therapeutics, animal feed, etc. to 150 industries, entrepreneurs, government, and NGOs. 44 technologies also have been assigned to Agri-Innovate, and they are awaiting a commercial partner for commercialization. Next, please. So for cattle and buffalo, we have improved Brucella abortus S19 strain vaccine, the gene-related S19 Delta Pur. Then the Lumpy Provac in collaboration of NRC and IVRI, FMD vaccine, Brucella abortus, the old cotton strain 19 vaccine. So the FMD vaccine, cotton strain 19 vaccine, they are used in the NADCP program as well. The buffalo pox vaccine, then the vaccine against hemorrhagic septicemia, and a new vaccine against Haemonchus contortus. Then for small ruminants, we have PPR vaccine, the goat pox vaccine, sheep pox vaccine, and a novel PPR viral vector being developed. Next, please. So for pigs, we have CSF vaccine, the lapinized one, which is under the National Disease Control Program, and the new one developed based on the cell culture vaccine. Then we have Vero cell inactivated JE vaccine candidate and a recently commercialized swine septic pasteurellosis vaccine. For poultry, we have infectious bursal disease as well as duck plague. And for other livestock species, including dogs and camels, for camels, we have developed the camel pox vaccine, and for canines, these two vaccines are in advanced stage of development for canine distemper and parvovirus, and will be shared soon. Next, please. So these are some of the technologies which have been commercialized to different companies. Next, please. Next, please. Then coming to the diagnostic portfolio, for cattle and buffalo, we have the diagnostics for FMD, for rotaviruses, and for sheep and goat, we have the diagnostic solutions for blue tongue and in forms of okay, and then for PPR, several solutions are there. Next, please. So for pigs, we have kits for Japanese encephalitis, and these two kits are now in the process of commercialization also with the APS LifeTech, and this month only these two have been commercialized. For chicken, we have solution in form of diagnostics for IBD, for NCD, and for IB. Next, please. So these are some of the glimpses of the kits. Next, please. Then coming to another important part, livestock products technologies. So we have ready to eat meat products and ready to eat milk products. So of course, there is no royalty associated with them, but they are popular with small business establishments. And we have made a bundle also now. So 7 ready to eat meat products are sold at 1,50,000 as a bundle. Next, please. So these are some of the glimpses of those products, the chicken soup, meat nuggets. And this is the further list of some of the important livestock product technologies. Next, please. Then this is the food animal species identification kit, which we are very ambitious about. Then the feed and nutrition technologies, the area specific mineral mixture, the farming system based area specific mineral mixture. And the novel feed supplement, we have recently received the interest and the MOU is in process with Amil. So this technology is also going to be commercialized hopefully by next month. Next, please. And followed by very popular urea molasses mineral block and some other technologies of nutrition. Next, please. So Crystoscope is like our flag bearer for reproduction technology, and it is widely popular. Apart from that, we have technologies in terms of designs for fetal extractor and internal genital injection devices. Next, please. Then again, these are some of the devices that have been registered and are available for commercialization. Next, please. Then again, surgical designs are there for fracture fixation, and they are on different modalities, basically to address the different types of fractures in small and large animals. Next, please. Then we have engineering designs also, the manual and tractor driven feed block making machines, and Treviport for cattle and buffalo, and a herd animal catcher. Next, please. So IVRI also has therapeutic products in terms of eco-friendly or herbal acaricide to control ticks, and mineral-based technology and technologies for prevention and treatment of subclinical mastitis in bovines. Next, please. Then there are therapeutic products in terms of high-end technologies like mesenchymal stem cell condition media-based formulation for wound healing and another stem cell-based formulation. Then we have antidiarrheal herbal formulation and acaricide formation, and this photograph showing the harvesting of chicken sleeve fat from poultry sleeves. Next, please. And the most popular technology which has been commercialized to maximum number of entrepreneurs or NGOs is our Jagopal vermiculture technology, which is very much in sync with the waste to wealth guidelines of Government of India. And it is widely popular with farmers, NGOs, several KVKs, State Department also has taken, and we are still receiving the interest for this technology. Next, please. Then coming to one important of aspect, which is mobile apps. So as I told you, we have 42 copyright for mobile apps, and some of these mobile apps are very popular. Like the first one you see, Veterinary Critical Care, it has more than 10,000 downloads. Similar for vaccination guide and for the Shukar Palan app. So these all these apps have very critical information, important information regarding different aspects of the veterinary science as reflected in their titles. So they're also widely downloaded by our users. Next, please. Again, there's a list of these apps. Next. So these are the commercial technologies, technologies which have been commercialized. So this list shows the technologies in terms of vaccines. The CSF vaccine, the Lumpy Provac, which has been given to different firms and state biological units at different states, Kerala, Haryana. And then we have PPR vaccine, which has again been shared with 8 firms. Next, please. Then again, this list follows of vaccines, goat pox, sheep pox, the improved Brucella abortus gene-related vaccine, and the one latest vaccine of swine septic. Next, please. Then we have the vaccines of FMD also, and virocell-based sheep pox vaccine. Next, please. Coming to the diagnostics which have been commercialized. So this list shows the diagnostics which have been commercialized for FMD and for blue tongue, for infectious bronchitis, for IBD, and for NCD. And recently, again, last month, we have commercialized 2 more kits. So, and training is also going on for IgG ELISA and IgM ELISA for Japanese encephalitis. Next, please. Then again followed by other very important technology of crystoscope, which has been given to 6 very important stakeholders, and it has a very wide outreach in the field. Area specific mineral mixture, urea molasses mineral block. So all these technologies basically differ in their price as per their utility. And the feed block making machine. Next, please. Then in terms of the surgical solutions, we have fracture fixation device which have been commercialized, and fetal extractor and the Trevi port. Next, please. Then further, for estrus induction and for prevention and treatment of subclinical mastitis, which is very much important for your hill state, they have been also commercialized and are available in the market. And all these technologies which are being showcased here, they can either be you can either take from these firms, or you can approach us also to partner us, and we can commercialize to your department. And then we have the herbal acaricide to control ticks, including acaricide, which has been commercialized. Next, please. So for LPT, as I told, we have many technologies, and they are basically without royalty also, and they have a lifelong duration. So these technologies we have clubbed now, and 7 ready-to-eat meat products are sold as a club technology for 1.5 lakh rupees, and ready-to-cook milk chips are also available. Next, please. So overall, these are the technologies of IVRI in terms of vaccines. So 36 vaccines are there. We have commercialized 11 of them. In diagnostics, engineering designs, animal feed and nutrition, livestock products, and therapeutics. And as highlighted in the feedback given by you, most of these technologies will be very useful for your field veterinarians in daily practice. Next, please. So these are some of the glimpses of different technology transfers which have been done from IVRI. You can please move on the slides. Next, please. Next, please. Next. Next, please. So with this, in the brief time given, I have shared you the details of IP portfolio, the available vaccines, diagnostic solutions with us, and how we can partner in them, and the basic guidelines of dealing with us either directly through AgriInnovate or through the firms which we have already transferred. So I'll take this opportunity to share another important presentation with you. So as highlighted by Director IVRI, so we at IVRI are very much into the academic side also, and in the guidelines as per the National Education Policy, we have set very high goals for ourselves. So we have postgraduate diploma courses, certificate courses, and vocational courses lined up in our university. Next, please. So the basic aim of the university is to develop the capacity building of stakeholders. Next, please. And these are the various degree and postgraduate diploma and certificate and vocational courses offered at ICR IVRI. Next, please. So this is what we are aiming to future, and we have started the postgraduate diploma course, certificate course, and vocational courses. And in this includes the 1-year postgraduate diploma course, the certificate and vocational courses for 2-month period, 1-month period, and 1-week period. As per the need of different stakeholders, these have been designed, and huge brainstorming has gone into designing and developing these different types of courses. Next, please. So these are details of postgraduate diploma courses of 1-year duration. There are 22 courses which are being offered now by ICR IVRI Izzat Nagar. Next, please. And these are details of certificate courses of 2-month duration, which are 15 in number, and as listed here. And these are also shared on IVRI website also. Next, please. Then these are details of vocational courses of 1-month duration. 23 of them have been planned in some very attractive aspects of the livestock's production and management and other aspects, with the aim of providing education to get the jobs. So all the students who are doing these courses, they can get immediate jobs or they can start their own profession. Next, please. This is further list of vocational courses of 1 week, 30. Next. And we are getting a very good response from different states throughout the country for our different courses, which we have only recently offered. So we expect these courses to be very popular. And with this, we also want to share with you that you can also promote the people from your state to get admission in these courses and benefit from the knowledge and skills from IVR. Next, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Anuj, for giving an overview of the technologies of IVRI, as well as highlighting about the vocational certificate and diploma courses, which IVRI, as well as other ICR Research Institute, which are going to be offered during this year through IVRI deemed university or IVRI university. I now invite our next speaker, Dr. KP Singh, who will be talking on a very, very important topic as flagged by Honorable Director Animal Husbandry. He has already pointed out that a lot of losses have happened because of this disease in the recent past. So over to you, Dr. KP Singh, Joint Director, CADRED.
वहां से मैं प्रॉब्लम देखना मेरे को. So Dr. Triveni Dutt, Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor of the Institute, Dr. P.K. Sharma, Director and Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, my joint colleague, Dr. Mahendra Atta, Dr. Rupsi Tiwari, Dr. Mohanty, Dr. Pallab Chaudhary, station in charges, my scientist colleague, veterinarians who joined this interface meeting online from different states, especially from Himachal Pradesh, and other stakeholders. So I will be talking about this lumpy skin disease. As we know that lumpy skin, it causes a lot of economic losses last year, especially 2022. It started in 2019, then major outbreaks and great economic losses occur in last year only. This year also, we got some sample from Uttarakhand, UP, and some other state, and we found that sample positive for lumpy skin. It means that lumpy skin is still circulating in our annual population. So as we know that it's a economically important disease causing a lot of economic losses, especially in the bovine, because this affects cattle and buffalo, and there is no report of lumpy skin in sheep and goat. And the economic losses are mainly due to chronic debility, decreased production, especially milk, poor growth, infertility, and other reproductive disorders. And disease, it is an emerging viral infection. Previously, it was confined to African countries, then spread to Middle East, Europe, and also Asia. As per Government of India Animal Husbandry Department data, that about 3.4 million cattle and buffalo, they were affected, mostly cattle population, and about 1.9 lakh, 1,90,000 death reported due to lumpy skin. And all over the country, about 90 million cattle, they have been vaccinated for this disease using especially goatpox vaccine, but presently we are having this homologous lumpy skin disease, but still it is not in market, but very soon we are expecting to have this vaccine for our animal use. So as regard to this virus, the virus belongs to Capripox genus, family Poxviridae, and it's a double-stranded DNA virus. The genome is very big, about 151 kilobase, size. Other viruses of this capripox are sheeppox and goatpox. So sheeppox, goatpox, and lumpy skin, because they belong to same genus, so they have quite homology and antigenity relationship. That's why for control of LSD, we use the goatpox vaccine, because at that time this homolog vaccine was not available. So as I told, that lumpy skin, it don't affect small animal, sheep and goat. Regarding clinical manifestation, it is acute and chronic, characterized by skin nodules. The size may be 1 to 7 centimeter in diameter, and nodules are seen all over the body, also in the internal visceral organs like liver or lungs. And the lesions, they start with congestion, hemorrhage, edematous changes, necrotic nodules, and the lesions, they are mainly due to necrotic vasculitis, due to change in the blood vascular system or blood vessel. There is a leakage of this blood content, and also necrosis due to hamper in the blood circulation. Regarding morbidity is high. Maybe it is reported 40%, but in some cases go to up to 100%, but mortality is less. It is up to 1 to 5%. Incubation period also very variable, 4 to 14 days. The disease start with fever, high fever, diarrhea, increased respiration, edema, nasal discharge. In some of the cases, eye lesions like corneal opacity, conjunctivitis or lacrimation also reported, but there is a huge edema in the brisket and other dependent part of the body, and generalized enlargement of the lymph node and lymphadenitis. The recovered cases, they also suffered with other sequelae like mastitis, pneumonia, scar formation, infertility or abortion. The disease first reported in 2018, and we were the first to diagnose the disease in cataract. And later on, the confirmed diagnosis was made in 2019, and publication was made in 2019. In 21, 22, especially in 22, the huge outbreaks with severe mortality was seen in the different states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and many other states. More than 1,000 recently in May, the disease has been seen and reported from Sikkim, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, and more than 10,000 cases have been reported due to lumpy skin disease. But this time the lesions are very mild, because our whole population almost exposed to this virus, and secondly due to vaccination has been taking place in large number. So due to this herd immunity, the lesions are very, very mild, self-limiting, and variable clinical manifestations are seen. Regarding epidemiology, the disease for the first time was seen in northern Rhodesia, which is currently known as Zambia, in 1929. Then in different African countries, in 91 Middle East, in India came in 2019. Then means society 30%, but our this Bos indicus is more resistant than Bos taurus. Regarding transmission, it is transmitted by arthropod like mosquitoes, biting flies, ticks also, but direct contact and infection with contaminated food and water also reported. As per the World Organization for Animal Health, earlier it was known as OIE, so it is a OIE listed disease, and that's why continuous surveillance is required for this. We did some this genome analysis, especially this sequencing and phylogenetic analysis. So virus, it came to be similar to Kenyan like LSDB. So it related with the Kenyan strain. Here I would like to say, I was in Muscat, Oman in 2008. There for the first time I have seen the lumpy skin disease cases. But there the one peculiarity was there. There we could find large number of intracytoplasmic inclusions. But in our country, in LSD cases, we could find hardly very rare inclusions. So that's maybe due to the strain variation, that Oman strain may be different from this Kenyan strain. And recently we did some more sequencing. So we could not find major genetic variation or major mutation or deletion addition. So it appears that virus is very hardy, very stable. There is very few changes are there, so there is no much genetic variation in the LSD virus. Regarding gross lesions, the virus is epilotropic, being tropic to the epithelium. In skin, we could see the lump because of lot of cellular infiltration. The change like hemorrhages, edema, then necrosis, ulcerative changes. It is all because of due to necrotic vasculitis, which cause these vascular changes and also necrosis. In some of the cases, due to severe necrotic changes, there we could see the perforation of the nasal septum also, besides the lesions in the buccal mucosa, and cutaneous infarction, sloughing are common. Histopathological also, a lot of necrotic changes, lymphoid depletion, necrosis in the lymph node and other lymphoid organs. In skin, balloon degeneration, necrosis, and confirmatory diagnosis, eosinophilic intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies in different cells. But in our cases, we could find inclusions in very few cases. So here we can see some gross lesions. It is large animal. In small animal, see the whole body is covered with the lump. So any new person also can see that because of the lump, it is lumpy skin disease. Here the lesions are there. Here I want to show the corneal opacity in the bull due to the lumpy skin disease. See this small calf having lot of brisket edema, very large edematous change in the subconjunctival brisket region. These are the lesions, mild lesions, and they are the actually healed lesions. Here you can see the scar formation. We can see some histopathologic changes in large number of cellular reaction. Here in high power, you can appreciate this presence of large number of macrophages and dendritic cell. The lump are because of this cellular reaction. See the large number of cells, they produce the lump in the skin, and these cells, infiltrating cells, are mainly responsible for the formation of the lump. And again, in the high power, you can appreciate the dendritic cells and macrophages in this dermis and hypodermis. You can appreciate the large number of cellular accumulation. This is mainly responsible for the development of the lump in the skin and other visceral organs. Here you can see this necrotic vasculitis with pericellular infiltration. Here also the cellular reaction of the blood vessel, which result into the necrosis and also hemorrhages and edema in the body parts. Here you can appreciate this necrotic change in the muscle. These are the complete healthy muscle, and this is the necrotic zones in the skeletal muscles. Here we can appreciate the presence of intracytoplasmic inclusion. You see here almost all the cells, they are having eosinophilic intracytoplasmic inclusion. If you are getting the inclusion, they are confirmative for the diagnosis of the lumpy skin. We also established this apoptosis, and we could establish the involvement of extinguished pathway in apoptosis due to high level of caspase 3 and caspase 8. This high means presence of high level of caspase 3. It is responsible for the extinguished pathway of apoptosis. And we also demonstrated this LSD antigen in skin. Here you can appreciate these positive signals for lumpy skin disease. This is the control slide. So regarding diagnosis, the double antigen indirect ELISA is available, and this is quite confirmatory for demonstration of antibody. And this is the work which we are carrying out, and we also developed double antigen indirect ELISA, which is in field trial. We are isolated viruses and working on LSD. We are characterize the virus, and we are doing this host pathogen interaction for the LSD. So LSD, one can diagnose based on gross and clinical lesions. Absence of disease in the small ruminant. As I told, the sheep and goat, they are resistant. They don't show any lumpy skin. Presence of skin nodules with intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies. Demonstration of viral nucleic acid by PCR or real-time PCR. Detection of antibody by ELISA, isolation, or One should make the differential diagnosis from allergy, screwworm myiasis, urticaria, vascular disease, bovine fever, or bovine herpes virus. This is some one picture of this PCR-based diagnosis of lumpy skin. Regarding prevention control, though when this homologous LSD vaccine was not available, so we used goat pox, and it was quite good and giving good protection. But now we developed in collaboration with the NRC Coin, developed the homologous live attenuated lumpy skin vaccine in the name of Lumpy Provac. The protection is for 1 year, and this is the dose, 1 ml of 10^3.5 TCID 50. It is in the freeze-dried live attenuated vaccine. The technology has been transferred to for vaccine manufacturing units or manufacturers, and very soon we expecting the vaccine in the market. The laboratory trial and safety has been done. So in conclusion, lumpy skin spread almost across all over the country, affected almost all the state, and Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of India issued the guidelines for control and of the disease. Also, biosecurity measures are very important in controlling the disease, like awareness about the vector control, use of live attenuated vaccine. Proper sample are also important for confirmed diagnosis to the laboratory. Differential diagnosis is required with some similar disease which produce the similar lesions. With this, thank you very much. Thank you one and all.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. KP Singh, for a nice presentation covering all aspects of lumpy skin disease. I'm sure you may be having many questions on this disease, and please put them in your chat box. Again, one thing which I would like to announce, we will put all these presentations on our website. We will host them as a Himachal Pradesh interface meet. Link will be there, and all these presentations will be hosted there on our website. So moving on to our next important topic, which is a perennial problem of almost all states related to the reproductive problems. I now invite Dr. Brijesh Kumar, scientist from Animal Reproduction Division, for his talk. Dr. Brijesh, please.
Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to the Director and Vice Chancellor ICR IVRI and Director Animal Husbandry Himachal Pradesh, and Joint Directors of the Institute and Regional Stations, Head of the Divisions, and my scientist colleague, and Veterinary Officer of the Himachal Pradesh, and all colleagues who have joined online and offline. Very good afternoon. I am here to present infertility and repeat breeding problems and solution. So I request, it is not a, it's my version, and you can present your version also. It's a two-way conversation. It should be. So please next. So you know, bovine infertility is a complex and multifactorial problem, and it is a temporary loss of the fertility. And it is constituted of mainly two factors. First one is the anestrus, second one is the repeat breeding. And its incidence varies from 13 to 15%. Next. So how to diagnose anestrus and delayed puberty? First, at the farmer points of view, it is a non-exhibition of the estrus sign. And second, suppose a veterinarian doing rectal palpation, so there won't be any corpus luteum. If you have ultrasonography and other facility of hormonal analysis, so you can go for that one also. If hormone is coming less than 1 nanogram, you can diagnose at 10 days interval. You can say it is anestrus or delayed puberty. If you are not getting any pre-ovulatory follicle through ultrasonography, then also you can diagnose it is a case of anestrus. Please next. So when we are conducting the several animal health camps at the different location of the Bareilly across the India, even you can say pan India.
So we lot of buffaloes, especially coming with the age of 4 years, 5 years, and farmers are complaining that, sir, they are not coming into the heat. And when we are going for the rectal palpation, ovary is almost smooth, and what I have shown the picture, it's almost appears like this spindle shape and smooth ovary. Is the very much peculiarity of these animals. And also you can see their bristles is a little clearly larger. So this all indicates mineral and nutritional deficiency to those animals. Please next. And again, one of the more burning problem is that now the concept of the peri-urban dairy is increasing day by day. So what peri-urban dairy farmers are doing, they are thinking that we should not feed much milk to our calves, but they don't know, they don't understand these calf is going to be their future heifers as well as the productive animals. So when you are suppressing these calves with nutrition at early age of the life, you are suppressing, you are killing the oocyte of the ovary. So definitely in whole life, it is going to be the poor performers in terms of reproduction. Please next. So what in nutshell, what prevention strategy should be there? Means you have to go for the regular deworming and mineral mixture feeding. There should be a proper provision for the nutritional supplements, and also after 20 months, you give at least 1 kg of concentrate to the growing heifers. If more than 3 years, go for phosphorus injection also. Suppose if you are supplementing, that may be the poor quality. If you are going for injection, it will have a quick action, more bioavailability, and faster action. And at last, you can go for the hormonal treatment also. Please next. So being in Himachal Pradesh, there is a plenty of scope for the to be declared some pockets as a organic animal husbandry. So the importance of the herbs is the paramount. So here I am briefing few of the herbs which we have been tested here and found very promising result, like Moraya coenjai and Eagle marmelos. So this technology available with Iberia, we can share the how to prepare and how to feed. It's 100 gram of each herbs you have to mix and feed for 9 days. And the almost 80% animal will exhibit the stress within 12 days. And another sprouted grains are having very much importance in terms of production as well as reproduction. Whatsoever pulses available in your area, maybe 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, and grains, probably wheat or rice, get it sprouted, make a mixture of minimum 300 gram to 350 gram, and have 10 to 15 gram of the Tata iodized salts. If you are feeding this one regularly, you clearly visualize through external appearance the improvement in the animals through their the hair coatings, as well as in terms of milk production and the proper stress exhibition pattern also you can observe. It's my practical experience, and so many dairy farmers also practicing over here in Bareilly itself, another district of the UP. Please next. So another is that more technicality involves is the hormonal treatments. And now so many commercial preparations are available, but these are the costly, and it is a meant for the commercial dairy farming. It's not good for the low producing, low input driven household cattle or buffalo rearing system. So it is a CIDR is there, our indigenous sponges are there, and others, Triubi is there, and other hormones. And we too, I very in the pipeline to develop our own indigenous CIDR, so that cost will be the reduced. So these in vaginal inserts could be placed into the vagina for minimum 6 to 8 days, and you just remove it and give 2 ml of the synthetic prostaglandin, and animal will come into the estrus within 72 hours, and you can go for the breeding. Please next. So earlier, there was a concept in the field, you go for the OPSINJ protocol at a large scale. But to get the optimum result through OPSINJ protocol, you have to see 2 or 3 things at least. Suppose you are under field condition, you don't have any ultrasonography, at least through the farmer's history, you start your OPSINJ protocol at mid-luteal phase or at the day 9 to 11 of the estrus to get the maximum result out of these protocols. Suppose if you have ultrasonography, you need not to ask anything from the farmer. You are seeing a follicle of greater than 9 mm, you can start your protocols. If you have facility of hormonal preparation, if it is coming more than 1 nanogram, you can start. But some limitation of this protocol is that you should not start this protocol early and late of the estrus cycle. Heifers are poor performers of these protocols. Progesterone deficient cases is avoid, and wheresoever you are seeing that if animal is aged or it is a premature, avoid this protocol. Please next. So again, being the hilly state, there are lots of herbs available to ameliorate the anistrus, delayed puberty, and repeat growth problem. In that context, and also being Himachal Pradesh have a plenty of scope to be declared as a organic animal husbandry in few pockets. So even you can go for the feeding of the 20 gram of the fenugreek or methi for a minimum of 20 to 25 days, animal will come into the estrus. And also cannabis sativa, onion also having very much estrogenic property. If you are feeding 1 kg of onion for a daily, for alternate days for 5 to 6 days, animal will exhibit estrus. And also this our unripe papaya, 2 to 3 kg of unripe papaya for 4 to 5 days, then also animal will come. And satauri, it is a miraculous plant actually in terms of the reproduction. If you are feeding satauri for 100 gram, even for alternate day, animal will come into the estrus within 7 to 10 days. And again, this herbs is very much plenty in Himachal Pradesh. That is nettles are stinging nettles, and it is for human being it is used for, I think, controlling of the BP. But roots of this particular plant having good potential to ameliorate the anistrus and delayed puberty in the livestock. Please next. So first problem we have addressed almost, that is the anistrus, and now we are moving to the second problem, is the repeat breeding. And repeat breeding, again, it is a multifactorial problem, like our uterus involves is there, ovarian involvement is there, genetics is there, artificial insemination is there, and environment is there. All together, we can club, there is two failure. One is the failure of fertilization, and second is the failure of embryonic motility or implantation. So all this further precipitated into the repeat breeding problem. Please next. So again, we are hitting to the endocrine profile, which is our under control. So these are the endocrine factors, problems. You can read it. So I'm not going to narrate it. Major I will cover later on. Please next. So what you will do, how to approach your repeat breeder problem. Suppose if you are suspecting for the progesterone deficient animal, if discharge is clear, there is no discharge is clear and no natural mating cases, so that animal may be a case of progesterone deficient. So you can go for, after EI, you can go for the CIDR insertion for 6 to 8 days. Or if suppose if you are not getting the CIDR, you can go for 125 milligram of hydroxyprogesterone. Even human being preparation can be used for continuously for even fourth day of the EI, when it is coming into the uterus. And also Cristar implant also on 7th day of the EI you can go. But among these, CIDR and hydroxyprogesterone is the good. Please next. Second one is the GNRs, and it is frequently being used under field condition. Suppose after EI you are giving 2.5 ml or 250 micrograms of GNRs, you are going to increase a conception rate by 25%. And again, if you are giving GNRH on 11th day also, then again there will be increase in the conception rate. Next, please. So in GNRH, again, if you are seeing there is early embryonic motility, so on day 6th also you can go for the GNRH, and this GNRH will cause additional ovulation or additional corpus luteum formation. So there will be the additional progesterone, so that will sustain the pregnancy. And also if you are giving on 12th day, which is the crucial window for implantation and MRP, so it will reduce the pulses of the PGF2 alpha. So it has anti-luteolytic effects. So definitely survival of conceptors will be the good. Please next. So altogether, suppose a pharmacy narrating that my animal is repeating within 25 days. So you have to give GNRH on 4th or 6th day of the EI. Even on the day of EI also. Suppose a farmer is coming, my animal has been inseminated, crossed the 35 to 40 day, means 2 cycle, then it is a repeating. So it is a maybe case of the late embryonic motility, and in that case you can go for the administration of the GNRH at 11 or 12th day post AI. Please next. So again, it is a similar pattern. If you are not getting GNRH, if in your area SCG is available, you can go, and a protocol for the SCG almost similar to the GNRH. Please next. Previous slide, please. Previous slide. Again, one more thing is that suppose even if you are going for the cheap treatment, so meloxicam is available with each and every veterinarian. So 20 ml of the meloxicam on day 13, 14, and 15th of the post-EI having anti-luteolytic effect and could be prevent embryonic motility. And even if you are have some indigenous kind of treatment like fish meal is there, or flaxseed is available in your area, you can go for feeding of the flaxseed 300 gram per 100 kg of body weight. It have good effect on the concept of survival. Please next. Insulin treatment, it is not common, but you can try at the dose rate of 0.2 international unit per kg at 8th, 9th and 10th day of the stress cycle. Please next. So our indigenous animal, these are the our especially Sahiwal, Tharparkar, Red Sindhi, they are more adapted to the tropical climate. If you are taking to these animals under the hilly climate or subtropical condition or subtemperate condition like Himachal Pradesh, few districts of the Himachal Pradesh, they will going to perform poorly. They will become more silent stress. So their heat symptoms also little bit change, like glistening or brightening of the vulva and little bit swelling vulva also a indication of the stress. So sometimes or many times farmers will miss. So definitely your selection of the animal based on their agroclimatic condition as well as the temperature and fodder availability. Please next. So suppose if you are definitely Himachal Pradesh crossbred animal will be there. Even if you are seeing a tinge of the blood into the estral discharge, you should not go for the artificial insemination because there won't be any pregnancy. It is simply you are going to create the repeat breeder. So avoid if there is any metastress bleeding or any kind of the bleeding, don't go for the artificial insemination. Please next. So in repeat breeder, one of the important factor is the uterine infection and it constitutes 29% incidence wise. Please next. So these are the terminology like puerperal metritis, clinical endometritis, pyometra, and subclinical endometritis. So subclinical endometritis is the more common under field condition and more painful to the veterinarian as well as the farmer. Please next. So these are the factors interrelated like host, environment, infectious agent. You see at our household condition because we are rearing 2 to 3 animals and where dry, productive, calving, everything is happening in one place. So there is every chances of more and more contamination, but our parturition ward should be free. It should be limed properly. It should proper bedding and temperature maintenance facility should be there. Otherwise, there will be young one mortality and animal also pick up the infection, uterine infection. Please next. So this is the simple device. Suppose if you could not able to scoop out the discharge through this device, you can take the discharge and you can grade type of means a grade of infection at least. Please next. So in subclinical endometritis, if you have a microscope, you can see the neutrophils. If it is coming more than 5%, so you can declare it is a subclinical endometritis and it require antibiotic treatments. Please next. So this is the another treatment, equal amount of discharge and equal amount of the NOH you have to just burn over the spirit lamp. If it is a color, yellow color, so it is a positive and the intensity of the infection depends on the intensity of the color. So it is no color, no infection, mild infection, mild light color, dark infection, severe. So that you can perform at your dispensary also. Please next. So again, another kind of infection we are noticing into the buffalo that buffalo is perfectly normal, taking food and feed and water normally, but there is a reduced milk production as well as there is continuous milk-like discharge from the uterus. So farmers are coming. So in that case, what we are seeing through ultrasonography, there is a persistence of the functional corpus luteum. In that case, if you are simply giving antibiotic, it won't work. For that, you have to combine the antibiotic with your chlorprostinol sodium also. Please next. So this type of metritis we have collected from the slaughterhouse. In this case also simply antibiotic treatment you won't work. You have to go for the flushing. Either you have to use the Foley catheter for flushing or Werlin catheter for flushing. Minimum of 3 liters of the normal saline means and dilute and mixed with the antibiotics. Then it will be quite effective. Please next. So these are the major factors for uterine infection. So monitor. So after calving, the important suggestion to the farmer is that you should monitor feeding behavior as well as temperature just after parturition at least for minimum 1 week to avoid postpartum complication. Please next. So this is the treatment we prefer in severe cases, ceftiofur sodium 1 gram through systemic as well as this 4 to 6 bolus of povidone, this nitrofurazone, metronidazole, povidone, iodine and urea. Wherever we fail to get the result from ceftiofur sodium and there is more pus content, we are shifting our treatment to the tetracycline through systemic as well as through intrauterine route. Rest is the supplementary treatment. Please next. So this is the some newer concepts are coming, seeing the AMR, antimicrobial resistance. So people are shifting some treatment through enzymatic based treatment like trypsin 8 milligram, chymotrypsin 8 milligram, papain 4 milligram, alpha tocopherol acetate 120 milligram, and retinyl palmiate 58.33 milligram. So that is also giving good result, and also you can avoid AMR. The second one is the ozone treatment. It is a very cheap, hardly 10 to 15 rupee of cost of treatment, and that is a 50 ml at the dose rate of 50 microgram per ml. You can total dose 2500 microgram you can give intrauterine. Please next. So now in few cases of repeat period, there is a chances of development of the anti-sperm antibody. So in that case, you have to try with 630 milligram of galactose mixed with 5 milligram of chymotrypsin. So that will give the good result, or else you can change your bull or semen straw. Next. So this is the another problem, burning problem is the cystic ovarian disease. Percentage is less. Next, please. Yes.
कितनी slides हैं?
बस खत्म है सर. Please next. So this is the symptoms. Please next. So this is our slaughterhouse finding. Next. Please next. Now earlier hormonal treatment, but now we are combining with hormonal treatment along with ovum pickup. So we are aspirating the cyst. Please next. But we have our जुगाड़ हम लोगों ने कुछ डेवलप किया है, that ovum pickup unit is costly and it is non-portable. So this ovarian cyst ablation device, it has been developed. Hardly it is a 170 gram, and any veterinarian can take it and ablate the cyst and go for the hormonal treatment. Next. The second version of the same is this one, cyst aspiration cum ablation device. It is also good and working fine. Please next. So this is the result. Ablation efficacy of both the devices is 100% and giving good result, 84% of success rate. Please next. So this is the after ablation picture and the successful of the few animals. Please next. So please next. This is the you are facing. Please next. Please next. Here I want to emphasize that in critical and tough cases of prolapse, you have to go for the raising of the hind quarter at least minimum of 3 feet, and you have to also go for the epidural anesthesia for proper repositioning of the prolapsed mass. Please next. And this ICD cases, if you are facing, this is the protocol, and it is almost 95% working efficiently. Next. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vijesh, for a comprehensive presentation on various reproductive problems and their solutions, many of which are available locally in Himachal Pradesh and very economical and cost effective. So thank you. May I now invite Dr. P.S. Banerjee, a very renowned veterinary parasitologist and currently station in charge of IVRI regional station of Calcutta. He will be talking on again an important problem which has been flagged by your officers, that is hemoprotozoan infections. Dr. Banerjee, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Most honorable director, sir. All the joint directors of IVRI, Dr. KP Singh, Dr. Mendiratta, sir, Dr. Rupsi Tiwari, and other two joint directors from Bengaluru and Mukteshwar, all the station in charges, heads of division, scientists, and dear vets from Himachal Pradesh. I am here with a small presentation. I was restricted by 10 minutes, so it will be a bit hurriedly I will go through, and I will present my slides myself. So I think the slides are visible in full screen mode. Can anyone please confirm?
It is visible.
Okay. So my topic is hemoprotozoan diseases. As the vets have already mentioned that it is a serious problem in Himachal Pradesh. I tried to retrieve the information from literature and also some of the parasitologists who are working in Himachal Pradesh. And whatever I could gain, I will talk on that lines. Before that, I like to tell you that hemoprotozoan diseases cause serious economic losses. Last year also I showed it. And the total loss due to these three infections, trypanosomosis, filariasis, and babesiosis, sum up to around 19,500 crore, which is just the double of annual their annual budget, Department of Agricultural Research and Education, the budget and annual budget allocation is 9,500. And Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying annual budget is 4,327 crore. And it is quite natural that these diseases are so important that if we can control it, then our budget allocation will be much more. Here is the agroclimatic zones of Himachal Pradesh. I don't want to show it, you know it better, but I like to mention that the hemoptysis diseases are more prevalent in these areas. The sub-mountain and low hill subtropical areas, the Kangra, Hamirpur, Una, Bilaspur, Solan, and Sirmaur. These are the districts where from blood protozoan diseases have been reported much frequently because of the reason that the climatic conditions are conducive for the multiplication of the vectors, ticks, and also they are in the almost the boundary of the Punjab and Haryana state, the two most important states of animal husbandry or animal resources of our country, where maximum number of very good quality dairy animals are available. Also, in the proximity of these two states make them more prone to these infections because animal migration or animal transport from these areas is a continuous process. I also like to mention here that the mid hills and the sub-humid region, therefrom also some reports have been poured in, and God knows what will happen to high hills, temperate, wet region because of the climate change. There is change in the temperature and also the establishment of the ticks which are responsible for the transmission of the disease. So in coming 10 or 15 years, maybe the high hill, temperate, wet region will also experience high blood protozoan diseases. Now, I will restrict myself to the three important diseases: bovine tropical filariasis, babesiosis, and trypanosomosis. As I told you, and as per my source of the literature which I could retrieve, I found that bovine tropical filariasis is a serious problem in the low hill and the areas which I mentioned, which boundary the Punjab and the Haryana. Then comes babesiosis. Trypanosomosis is not very common, though serologically it has been proved that around 20% of the animals are seropositive. Anaplasmosis is not a protozoan disease, but it is mentioned with all the blood protozoan diseases because of some reason. So I will show you a few slides on that also. And it has been reported from Himachal Pradesh. Coming to bovine tropical filariasis, everybody knows, all vets know that there is high fever, swelling of superficial lymph node and all other symptoms. Labored breathing and coughing is another very important sign. And majority of the disease pathogenesis is driven by the macrocytant infected cells, means the macrophages and the lymphocytes which are parasitized by the cyzont of the parasite. Here is a very briefly, this is the life cycle, and this is the part which is going on in the vertebrate host, and this is the part in the tick vector. Remember, after entry of the sporozoite, they firstly penetrate the macrophages and the lymphoblasts, and then they multiply inside the macrophages and the lymphoblasts, and this is the most pathogenic stage. After this cycle, the merozoites are released, which are then found in the erythrocytes. So at this stage, the animal is either recovered or dead. And when we just diagnose the infection by seeing these erythrocytic pyroplasms, we are already too late. Now, one concept, dear vets, you have to understand that infection of the bovine leukocyte with Filaria annulata macrocytant result in synthesis of some novel metalloproteinase, which are the virulence factor. Whenever I will go to another slide and then I will make you understand. Filaria annulata transforms the leukocyte. The leukocytes which become infected with the Filaria annulata, they are immortal like cancer cells, and they can multiply for whole many long time. The infected lymphocytes can cross the basement membrane of the large organ system such as kidney where they establish as proliferating foci. Here is the diagrammatic representation. This is a leukocyte which is infected with a scisont of the thylaria. Then it sends some signal to the host nucleus, and as a result, this cell release MMPs, the matrix metalloproteinase, and this is the virulence factor. Now, if we do attenuation, what is done in the vaccine, then this signal is interrupted. So MMPs are not produced by the cells which are incorporated in the vaccine. And the cachexia and the ulceration in theileriosis is mainly due to the macrophages which secrete the pro-inflammatory cytokine TNF-alpha. What actually happens in COVID acute cases also, you have seen there is cytokine storm, and to counter it, doctors prescribed the drugs which can minimize the TNF-alpha and the pro-inflammatory cytokines, and it was the key to success in many patients. Similar way, we can also think of some measures which can reduce the cytokine storm in case of Theileria annulata. Now, you all know that there is cigarette burn or punched out necrotic ulcers in the abomasum, and this is due to, again, the cells which are producing the pro-inflammatory cytokines. You have to understand it if you want to treat it, and if you are sincere with your treatment, and you want to understand the progress of the disease after treatment. Theileria annulata also multiplies in the erythrocytes, and the infected cells also rapidly removed from the body. That's why it also causes severe anemia. Now, we diagnose the infection. Some veterinarian was talking about pen-side diagnosis of the diseases. Now, we have got parasitological techniques. You can call them pen-side diagnostic, exactly not like a serological test, but blood smear examination, lymph node aspirate. Lymph node aspirate. I like to emphasize that lymph node aspirate is much more important, and because it gives an early diagnosis, and it is the key to successful treatment. Serological tests and molecular techniques cannot be practiced in routine by the field vets. Now, these are some of the photographs which I have taken during my stay at IVRI, and you will find that almost 50 to 60% of the erythrocytes are carrying the pyroplasms, and some of the macrophages are laden with the macroscisons. This is the lymph node, prescapular lymph node, which is enlarged, and if we can take the biopsy material from the enlarged lymph node and can prepare a smear, then we can see this type of macroscisons either lying freely or inside the macrophages. At this stage, pyroplasms in the RBCs are not present. So don't discard or don't misdiagnose as negative. These are the abomasal ulcers which are in the process of healing, but the animal died after treatment for around 10 to 15 days. So another form of theileriosis has been reported from Sirmaur district of Himachal Pradesh, and it was a different species, not Theileria annulata, which was thought to be not very much pathogenic, but it was found that it can also cause disease and may cause even mortality. The treatment options, you already know that the buparvacone or chlortetracycline and rhodiotetracycline, these are old timers, and this is the best drug. Along with it, you have to think about some of the steroids which can reduce the effect of the immunopathology. Now, resistance against buparvacone has been reported from some of the countries, but not from India. This is the vaccine which is available with Indian immunologicals. This is a live attenuated vaccine, and the dairy owners, they are ordering, or on request, the Indian immunologicals is preparing it, and they are transporting in liquid nitrogen. So if there is any farm which have a large number of crossbred animal, then they can go for vaccination, and the protection period is around 1 year. Again, coming to babesiosis, this has been also reported from Himachal Pradesh. Around 9% of the cattle at Kangra districts were found positive for mixed infection, but this infection is not as pathogenic as Theileria annulata. This is the life cycle. Here, one difference is that after entry of the sporozoid, they directly penetrate the RBCs and multiply there. There is no involvement of any lymphoid tissue. These are some of the clinical pictures taken at IVRI. These are the urine samples collected from the animal which was suffering from babesiosis. And this is the condition of the almost icteric, and the conjunctival mucosa is almost papery white. These are the organisms which can be easily demonstrated in the RBCs. So what you need to good stain, use a good stain which can be helpful in giving you the diagnosis. Sometimes very severe infection is found in RBCs. Around 40–50% RBCs are infected, and this type of case is very difficult to treat. And again, the pathogenesis here is the cytokine release, which is instigated when immune cells come in contact with the parasite or the RBC on the surface of which the parasite antigen is expressed. And these cytokines thereupon prompt the production of nitric oxide, and it destroys the parasites as well as the RBCs. That's why severe anemia develops. Another thing is that the RBCs infected with Babesia has got some change on the surface, so they adhere to each other. This is a clump of RBCs, all of which are infected. They also adhere to the endothelial cells of the blood vessels, and this may result into pathogenesis. We all know chemotherapy, there is nothing new, but imidacloprid dipropionate is the drug of choice nowadays, both for cattle and buffalo and other animals. Coming to trypanosomosis, it is not very common. The seroprevalence in cattle and buffaloes in Himachal Pradesh was found to be high, but clinical cases has not been reported from Himachal Pradesh. Diagnosis is by thin and thick blood smear examination, microhematocrit centrifugation, which is nothing but you fill the capillary tubes with blood and then centrifuge it, exactly what you do in case of ESR estimation. And then the junction of the buffy coat and the plasma should be broken, and that part should be taken on a slide and can be examined under microscope. After covering with a cover slip, the parasite can be easily demonstrated. And there is animal inoculation, which is not practicable in the field. Serological tests, again, are not very much useful for the field. Molecular techniques may be done occasionally. These are the trypanosomes in the thin blood smear. And this is one wet smear, which we examined from a buffalo. And if you look at it, then you will find that somewhere the RBCs are having some jerky movement, isn't it? Jerky movement. And now you see the trypanosoma which is moving. So by this, we can easily diagnose trypanosomosis. And microhematocrit centrifugation eliminate most of the RBCs and the WBCs. So here, the organisms are more clearly visible if we go for microhematocrit centrifugation method. Berynyl, quinapyramine, prosalt, and lately isometamedium chloride are the drugs which are used, and they are quite responsive, quite effective. But there are some reports of berynyl resistance of trypanosomes against berynyl. Now, cattle and buffaloes, they vary in their response. The cattle, they may be anemic, there may be intermittent fever, and in buffaloes, two types of disease has been described. One is chronic wasting sickness with trypanosoma, they will live for years, and another one is hyperacute. Within hours, the animal may die. Anaplasmosis, I told you, is also present in Himachal Pradesh. Severe anemia, frank jaundice, and reduced milk yield are some of the clinical features. It is also transmitted by ticks. And these are the RBCs. At the periphery, there are some dot or cocci. These are actually anaplasma marginally. And even I have seen cases where the hemoglobin percentage was 2.5 gram. This is one case from Bareilly where the animal had almost 40% of the RBCs infected with anaplasma marginally, and the conjunctival mucosa was papery white. This animal died before the diagnosis could be made. Blood transfusion is the only way. Along with that, oxytetracycline at the rate of 20 mg per kg body weight for 4 to 5 consecutive days may cure it. Add limit of water and complete rest. Otherwise, there may be heart failure. Tick infestation, as somebody was telling, is a serious problem. and acaricide resistance has already been reported from Hamirpur, Bilaspur, Kangra, Sirmaur, Solan, and many other districts of Himachal Pradesh. There is alternative treatment with herbs also, herbal drugs also, but ticks are very dangerous, so they can develop resistance to herbal drugs even. In the conclusion, I like to say that anemia is a constant feature of all the blood protozoan diseases and most severe in trypanosomosis. The mechanism of anemia vary in different infections. Cytokine storm in initial phase of the infection is the underlying cause of most of the pathological conditions. Treatment options should include tackling the immunopathology also. Thank you very much. I will be happy to answer questions. Thank you.
I couldn't see any questions in the chat box. You are all requested to please put, not many are there. You please put questions in the chat box. We will take them at the end. Now, moving towards the last presentation of today's technical session, I would like to invite Dr. Rinku Sharma, senior scientist who is sitting amongst you in Himachal Pradesh at IVRI Regional Center, Palampur. She will be talking on the regional problems of disease in the Palampur. Dr. Rinku, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, is full screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you, sir. Most Honorable Director, ICR IVRI, Honorable Director, Animal Husbandry, Himachal Pradesh, esteemed dignitaries, and the distinguished participants. I'll be talking on regional problems of animal health and production in the northwestern Himalayan region. Briefly, it will be a talk about whatever work the ICR IVRI Regional Station Palampur is doing. Now, the Palampur station of ICR IVRI, it was established in the year 1959 to cater to the research needs in livestock rearing in the northwestern Himalayan region. This is the mandate of the regional station. These are the thrust areas. And these are the various research programs that we are undertaking based on the mandate. So I'll be briefly now coming to the talking about the regional problems or the issues and the problem solving steps that we have taken. Now, as we know that the main issue is a lack of quality feed. So you know that Palampur, it is the tea capital of the northwestern India. So a study was taken for the utilization of tea byproducts for feeding livestock and poultry. So the outcome or the recommendation of this study was that tea seed at 2.6% of total DMI and tea seed saponin at 0.4% of total DMI, it can be fed to gaddi goats. The study was done in gaddi goats to improve the growth rate, feed conversion ratio, and microbial protein synthesis. And also the tea seed saponin, when it was incorporated at 600 ppm in the broiler ration and 0.4% of total DMI in the goat feed respectively, it reduced the triglyceride and the LDL cholesterol levels. And besides this in study, the in vitro studies, they indicated that the tea seed saponin, it may have a potential for decreasing the methane emission and improving rumen fermentation in the roughage based diets, which is the case in developing countries like India. So this was this also gave indication about the climate change scenario, what steps we can take to include the tea seed in the ration of the animals, both livestock as well as poultry. Then the second step which we took was, like, you know that Kotgarh in Shimla, it is the apple bowl of India. And Solan in Himachal Pradesh, it is known as the mushroom city of India. So as a result, since it is grown all over the place, so a lot of agro waste is generated. So therefore, we took this apple pomace and the mushroom residue, silage was prepared from it, and it was evaluated in the Gaddi goat model, which is the native breed of Himachal. So the 5-month feeding trial was conducted, and it improved the feed conversion ratio, serum antioxidant, and serum lipid profile of the Gaddi goat kids. And the recommendation out of this project is that you can replace maize in feed up to the level of 32%. And later on, this silage was fed to the Gaddi goat male animals, and it was found that the meat which was produced from these animals, it was antioxidant enriched with an improved lipid profile. Then Another study which was conducted was on the native forages of the region, how we can ensile them. Different forages of the region were utilized in this study. And besides this, two weeds were also used, the Neela Fulnu, that is Ageratum, and Kali Booty, which is Eupatorium. These are widely prevalent in Himachal. And the recommendation out of this study is that ensiling with Buhl, that is Grevia optiva and wild palm, is recommended. Why? Because it led to the reduction in the level of the anti-nutritional phytometabolites. However, these two weeds, when they were incorporated in the silage, we do not recommend them because it led to the persistence of the off-flavor volatile compounds. Then besides this, the next study was done on the less commonly used forages, because in winters there's scarcity of forage. So we studied the less commonly used forages. These are named here. And we found that the Kadvi bunes, that is the in local language it is called as Kadvi bunes. It is Salix tetrasperma. These mature leaves, they can replace 50% of the local grass for feeding the growing gaddi goats without any adverse effect during the winter season. Similarly, another study was done on the oak leaves feeding. So it was found that oak leaves, they can be incorporated up to 20% in the roughage-based diets of the adult gaddi goats. Then the second major problem, as also pointed out by the various veterinarians, that is repeat breeding. And as Dr. Brijesh also told, that infectious causes, they are around 29%. The uterine infections, they account to 29% of incidence of the repeat breeding causes. So accordingly, we are continuously doing study on this, and culture sensitivity test is being done for the repeat breeding cows, and the results, they are being provided to the State Animal Husbandry Department. And this particular study was done in a project mode, where we found 40% success in calving because of the proper results that were communicated. And the therapeutics of choice which were recommended to the repeat breeders were tetracycline in case of Bilaspur, Chamba, Kangra and Kullu district, ciprofloxacin in Mandi, gentamicin in Shimla, nitrofurantoin in Una. And at present also in 2023, the data indicates that tetracycline is still effective in the Kangra district of Himachal. So our recommendation is that CST is reliable and it is recommended. The samples can either be sent to IVRI Regional Station Palampur, or it can be done at the polyclinic level. Then the third major problem is parasitic diseases, as also pointed out by the various veterinarians. So in this, we have taken up two major parasitic diseases. First is hemoprotozoan diseases. We studied the ruminant ectoparasitism and hemoprotozoan diseases in district Kangra and Chamba. And we found that the ruminant ectoparasitism was very high, both in Chamba and Kangra districts. And in cattle, the major hemoprotozoans which were detected were Anaplasma marginale and Thylaria orientalis. In goat and sheep, around 55% were infected with Thylaria lovinsinae. This is a recently detected species of the Thylaria. In 2008, it was reported for the first time from China. And mixed parasitic infections were also reported. And molecular evidences of Anaplasma capra and Thylaria species MK among goats was reported for the first time in Himachal Pradesh. Then cryptosporidiosis is another area where we are working. It is less explored, it is zoonotic, and it causes calf diarrhea. So genetic diversity of this species of Cryptosporidium parvum is being studied. And we have included North India, 3 states in this. So it was found that the incidence or the prevalence of bovine cryptosporidiosis is around 11.9%. And the samples were collected from Himachal, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. And 4 different species of Cryptosporidium, they have been identified. That is Cryptosporidium parvum, Endosonae, bovis and rhini. The last 3, they have been detected for the first time in Himachal Pradesh. And this high prevalence of cryptosporidiosis, it demands the inclusion of the modified Ziehl-Neilson staining technique in the routine fecal diagnostic procedures. So again, the samples can either be sent to IVRI, or this can be taken up at the polyclinic level as a routine diagnostic procedure. Then the fourth important issue is of plant toxicity. In this, because there are many weeds in the region, so it causes incidences of plant toxicosis. But the first one is Lantana camera. So we studied the pathology and amelioration using various herbal plants, and we found that Picrorhiza carua rhizome, Berberis lycium root bark, and the Ginkgo biloba leaves, they can be used to ameliorate the hepatotoxicity produced by Lantana toxicity in grazing animals. And during our interaction with the farmers or the veterinarians, we recommend the farmers that they should use it as a feed supplement, because picrorhiza and berberis are easily available in the state of Himachal Pradesh. Other than that, we also did the profiling of lentadines from 10 districts of Himachal, and we found that the highest concentration of lentadine was found in district Mandi, followed by Kangra, and lowest in Bilaspur. And incidence, however, the incidence of the toxicity was highest in Kangra, followed by Mandi, Una, and Sirmaur. And the incidence highest being in Kangra because the disease is widely spread all over. Then the another important weed is Eupatorium adenophorum. It is again a hepatotoxicant, just like Lantana camera. So, and one of our studies, we found that tannase producing rumen bacteria. These rumen bacteria were isolated from the migratory gaddi goat. So they were able to degrade the eupatox A. What is eupatox A? It is the toxic principle of Eupatorium adenophorum. So therefore, it has these rumen bacteria from these migratory goats. They have application to be used as a microbial feed supplement for animals. Then the another very major issue in the state is of enzootic bovine hematuria, which is caused by chronic fern feeding. So it leads to development of tumors in the urinary bladder of cattle when they ingest it over a long period of time. So what we did was that Rhyopteris nigropalacia fern was collected from the EBH endemic area of Himachal. In the Kullu district, we collected the fern and we fed it for a period of 1 year to the guinea pigs. And this fern led to the development of inflammatory and pre-neoplastic lesions in the urinary bladder of animals. And we found that allyl isothiocyanate, when it was orally given, it limited the pre-neoplastic changes. So our recommendation would be that in the EBH endemic areas, the farmers, they should feed the cruciferous plants, particularly the mustard greens, which are easily available. They can be fed to the cattle to inhibit the urinary bladder carcinogenesis in these EBH endemic districts of Himachal. Other than that, we also studied the concentration of tachyloside and tyrosine B in the ferns from Kullu and Chamba because they report a large number of cases. So we found these are the major carcinogens which lead to cancer development. So the concentration was as high as 358 milligram per gram of the fern. And similarly, tyrosine B was as high as 652 milligram per gram. And we also studied the incidence. This was done in collaboration or support of the State Animal Husbandry Department, and we found the data was received and we analyzed it, and it was found that it was highest in district Kullu, followed by Mandi, Shimla, Sirmaur, Kinnaur, and Solan. Then the research on milk. We are, besides this work, we are also taking steps towards the branding of milk of native breeds. So we have taken up different projects, and the findings of this or the outcome of this project is that highest percentage of fat and total solids was found in the gaddi goat milk. So this is the native breed in comparison to the local goat, Himachali Pahadi cattle, and the Jersey crossbred cattle. And however, the antimicrobial activity was higher in the beetle goat casein protein isolates against the Bacillus cereus in comparison to gaddi goat. Another interesting finding from this study was that eladic acid, a trans fatty acid, was found to be highest in the boiled milk of Jersey crossbred cattle, followed by gaddi goat, followed by Himachali Pahadi cattle, and it was not detected in the raw milk of all of these. So in this, the Himachali Pahadi cattle showed the least amount of this trans fatty acid even after boiling. Then another area which we are working on based on our mandate is that we are working on the bioprospection of the plant or the plant parts. So you know that there is a continuous need for novel vaccine adjuvants. So we have taken, we did a study on the plant-based vaccine adjuvants exploring the herbal plants of the region. We studied different plants of the region and we found that Shatawarin 4 saponin, this was isolated from the fruits of Asparagus ascendens, that is Shatavari plant. The fruits were used for extraction of the Shatawarin 4 molecule, and we found that it has the potential to be used as an adjuvant in a combination adjuvant in vaccine formulation. Why in a combination adjuvant? Because our study showed that this Shatawarin 4 saponin at 40 microgram, it produced desirable humoral immune responses. The CMI response was little less when used against the Staph aureus bacterium. And this Staph aureus inactivated vaccine, this isolate of Staph aureus.
Can you please be a little fast? Mute हो गए.
Other than the research work, we are also providing service. In this, the feed sample analysis is being done by the regional station Palampur, where we have, in the last around 10 years, we have analyzed 571 samples, and the results have been provided to the State Animal Husbandry Department. Post-mortem fecal examination and serosurveillance studies are being done. And for the sample collection from the field, I would like to acknowledge the support that we receive from the State Animal Husbandry Department. And other than that, we are also, some of our scientists are member of the Healthcare Advisory Committee of the nearby zoo that is there in District Kangra, and we are providing the disease diagnosis work and other consultation. The future plan of action, future research would involve field trials, taking up short-term projects of the applied research or technologies developed by ICAR-IVR with the support of the State Animal Husbandry Department. The new research programs will be taken up based on the latest feedback or inputs received from the State Animal Husbandry Department. Package of practices we will give to the State Animal Husbandry Department. And in the last is the human resource development. This has already been briefed by Dr. Anuj. The 3 courses they will be taking they will be available at ICAR-IVR Regional Station Palampur. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rinku, for highlighting the problems, health problems in the Himachal Pradesh and working with them for finding out their solutions. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
I think we can now take up questions. Can you just make a chat box a little larger so that we can take up questions? Or Dr. Birbal, can you read from your end? Yeah, first question is briefly explain the role of steroids in hemoprotozoan infection. I think Dr. Banerjee, it's related to your presentation. Can you just?
Yeah, I am there. I am here. What is the question, sir?
It's please briefly explain the role of steroids in hemoprotozoan infection.
Actually, there is no regime. It is a very good question. There is no regime which has been earmarked for thalidomide or any other blood protozoan till now. It is still in experimental level, but one word of caution is that excessive use may be detrimental. So, and also not at the initial stage when the diagnosis is made, it should be given. It should be given at least after 4 or 5 days of the infection. And if there is inflammatory change, inflammation, the cytokine storm, to reduce it, it is still in the experimental stage. So I cannot right now tell the dose and how long it should be given. But in no way it should be more than 4 to 5 days. Otherwise, intercurrent infections may flare up because they are also immunosuppressive. So that's, it should be kept in mind. Maybe within another few years, we will come up with a dose and also the schedule which should be followed for treatment of thalidomide. This is specifically for thalidomide, where cytokine storm, as I was telling, is very much common and is detrimental for the host.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Another question is, any progress made towards producing anti-tick and anti-mammary papillomatosis immunologicals? I think anti-tick.
Anti-tick, you have already shown. Dr. Anuj in his presentation was showing that because of the research done in IVRI by Dr. S. Ghosh, some of the herbal drugs have been commercialized to the commercial houses. But one word of caution is that if the ticks can resist or develop resistance against strong chemical acaricides, there is no reason to believe that they will also develop a resistance against the herbal drugs. So herbal drugs are alternative drugs. They should be used judiciously in conjunction with the chemical acaricides, and other methods like hand picking and dressing or application of the acaricides in the cattle shed is very important. Because when we apply drug, the ticks, they detach and hide inside the cracks and crevices. When the effect is gone, they come out from the cracks and crevices and again attach. That's why repeat infection or reinfection, infestation occurs.
I think probably anti-tick vaccine also they are asking about.
Well, yes, you are very right, sir. Those vaccines are not very much successful. They were initially marketed in few countries, and after that, it was found that the ticks are also attaching after vaccination. So there was some modifications in the antigen presentation and a combination of antigen. That's why we have got GAVAC and GAVAC Plus, etc. Now we are not listening much about those vaccines. In our country, we do not have any vaccine till now.
So I think we can keep taking questions related to parasitology first. There is one in between for reproduction, but I think we can continue. The next question is it okay to use 2 drugs in case of babesiosis severe cases? As you said, there are reports of resistance against Berenil.
No. Sir. I just misrepresented my views. Actually, the drug resistance against Berenil has been reported in trypanosomosis. Not babesiosis, Berenil is quite effective, but nowadays, imidocarb dipropionate is the drug of choice for babesiosis in cattle, buffalo, dogs, even horses, in all species of animals. Imidocarb, it is available in the Indian market and it is very, very useful. So there is no resistance reported so far against any of the drug for babesia. Am I clear, sir?
Okay, I think has it solved problem of the participant who has put the question? I think one more. Can you just make a chat box a little loud? Yeah. Next question related to hemoprotozoan infection is pen site test for diagnosis of hemoprotozoan diseases should be developed for quick and reliable early diagnosis to reduce mortality.
Actually, there are some pen site diagnostic tests for protozoan diseases of canines and also equines, but not for cattle and buffalo, because the tests are very costly, whichever are available. For 1 blood protozoa or 4 blood protozoa in dogs, there is a pen site diagnostic test based on ICT, which costs around 800 rupees for 1 dog, which cannot be afforded by a farmer for cattle and buffalo. So parasitological examination is quite easy, quite cheap, and quite sensitive. These are the hindrances against developing a pen site test for blood protozoa of domestic animals, particularly cattle and buffalo.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
The questions. I think we can take from the top and then we'll come down. Yeah. Anistrus. There is a question for Anistrus. Please explain injection, phosphorus dose and regime. Dr. Brijesh. You can see.
Sir, if a medium to low size body weight animal means less than 300 kg, 10 ml alternate day is sufficient, 3 shot is sufficient to bring the animal into the estrus. And if it is more than 400 kg and above, like our crossbred animal, so 15 ml at alternate day, 3 shot is enough to bring the animal into the estrus. Before that, we should go for the deworming and other basic nutritional management. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you scroll down? Go down. We have taken this question. Housing models for backyard poultry should be advised for farmers. Housing models for poultry. Yeah, I think carry people or PDP poultry, they might have come up with some of the models. We may ask them to provide if they are available. Okay, we will note down these questions and the name of the person who has asked this question, and we will send the reply to them, taking consultation from the appropriate persons or appropriate institutes if they have any models developed. Yeah, Dr. Shankar has also replied to the previous questions. Anti-tick vaccine. I think Dr. Banerjee has already explained, and there are efforts which are going on for the production of vaccine, but still not very successful in the field. But hope we may in near future get some things. Then role of onion feeding on. Yeah, I think Dr. Brijesh told about the onion feeding.
Sir, actually, feeding of the onion is the traditional knowledge of the pupils living in the Kashmir, especially Kashmir Valley. So what they are doing that 1 kg of onion on alternate day at 5 occasion. So this will improve the fertility. Some farmers are mixing onion with garlic also, because onion and garlic have estrogenic property, and they stimulate the follicular growth and development. Subsequently, animal will come into the estrus. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Again, that same question, along with tick, there was a question on bovine papillomatosis. Any vaccine or anything which is developed regarding?
So regarding bovine papillomatosis, we developed some herbal based therapeutic treatments, so which is effective for teeth papilloma, cutaneous papilloma only. So and any compound which has the topical applications with the podophytotoxins. This is the carcinogens, chemotherapeutic agents. You can apply topically, it will reduce. Otherwise, the tick management is the most important for management of cutaneous bovine papillomatosis. Tick management. Sir, this is some area with practicing, but nowadays we not recommended, because this is many mutation will be there. We can vaccinate with one serotype, one biotype, but there is many biotype is coming. Now India have 24 biotype is there, so it will not maybe reoccur.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Next question is EBH in enzootic area. Dr. Rinku, you have already told some. Can you just again explain it?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, in our study, we used allyl isothiocyanate. It was used and it was given orally to the animals when the fern was given. So, this allyl isothiocyanate, it is present in more amount in the cruciferous vegetables. So, when because in the endemic areas, the people leave the cattle for grazing. So it is better that if they, before grazing, the first most important recommendation is that the animal should be not sent for grazing empty stomach. So it should be fed little in their home itself, and these cruciferous vegetables like mustard, they can be fed to the animal because it is rich in allyl isothiocyanate, so it can inhibit the bladder cancer development. And moreover, if the animal will not be empty stomach, it will not immediately go and graze on the ferns which are present over there. So these are the two things. The animal should not be left for grazing empty stomach, and this mustard can be fed.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Can AI during menstrual bleeding can be successful? Dr. Brijesh?
Thank you, sir. Actually, After observing the menstrual bleeding, you should not go for the artificial insemination because this blood is the toxic to the spermatozoa and that will hamper the fertilization process. So definitely there won't be any conception. Unnecessarily, you are going to create repeat bleeders. So better it is avoid after menstrual bleeding. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think next question relates to surgery. Please tell about fracture fixation and results in large animal, especially femur and humerus. Dr. Amarpal is here. Please give mic to him.
The fracture fixation in large animals, as you asked about the femur and humerus bone, it is very difficult to manage these fractures with the help of the external fixators. But if animal is small size, we can go for internal fixation like interlocking nailing or multiple nailing, and sometimes even plating can be done, provided animal is not very big size, especially calves, etc. They can be managed. But if it is a fully grown cow or bull or buffalo, then these fractures are very difficult to manage.
Thank you very much. Next question related to Dr. Brijesh, treatment for follicular cyst. No, that is Dr. Rinku has already answered that. She has put it in chat box.
Treatment regime for the follicular cyst. The best treatment at present is that you have to aspirate the follicular fluid. After that, you have to put the CIDR into the vagina for 8 days. On 8th day, you remove the CIDR and give 2 ml of chlorprostinol sodium. And later on, within 72 to 96 hours, animal will come into the stress. Leave that particular stress, but note the date. Then again, you monitor the animal for 18 to 21 days. In the next stress, you have to go for AI along with 2.5 ml of the receptor or boswellic acetate of any company. So that is the most successful. Suppose if you are not getting CIDR, you can go for the GPG protocols. So in GPG protocol, only things you have to change that after giving the GNRS, rather than going on 7th day of PG, you have to go for 9th day PG and later on observe for the heat and leave the first heat and go for AI in second heat. Second
The next question also relates to you. I think
my question is related
officer is asking about the difference between doorstep AI and institutional AI, percentage difference of contracting uterine infection.
Yes, I think AI is the big. AI is the biggest factor, means a potential factor for creating the repeat breeding condition, because when you are performing AI under less cautious condition or less poor hygienic condition, there is every chance the dung entered into the uterine cavity through your AI gun. That's why in Western country are where very much SOPs follow. So during the AI, they are using the sanitary sheath over the AI gun, and they are tearing that particular sanitary sheath at the level of external os. So there won't be any dung or any foreign particle entering into the uterus. But our Indian condition, the same person is opening the vaginal lips and the same person inserting the guns. And then it creates every chance of entering the dung into the uterine cavity that leads to the repeat uterine infection and repeat breeder. So kindly take care, maximum take care in hygienic manner AI should be performed.
Thank you.
Many studies, sir.
I think next question is related to tick infestation, which is a major problem, and treatment like ivermectin or on other ectoparasitic medications. Desired results are not achieved. Please guide regarding some pre-treatment cure. Dr. Banerjee, can you read? Yeah, and can you answer?
I could not find this question. Tick infestation is very common problem, and even after treatment like ivermectin, poron, other ectoparasite medication, desired results are not achieved. please guide regarding some permanent cure. Okay, I was discussing it in the last slide that resistance against many of the chemical compounds in ticks is very high and already reported from all over India. And every organism will try to flourish and they have their mechanism. Ticks are the most notorious parasites who have developed resistance against most of the acaricides available. Now, I was talking about the application method. As you increase the number of application, the resistance will also go up. So, combination of drugs means herbal drug and then chemical compound and then other measures like burning of the cracks and crevices with a lamp, the spirit lamp, will reduce the tick niche in that particular cattle shed. Mostly it is a serious problem in the mud houses or the houses where cattle are kept in such a structure where we cannot use the spirit lamp for burning. And in pakka houses, all the cracks and crevices should be filled up and there should be no, what I can say, dumping ground inside the cattle houses, which are the hiding places for the ticks. You have to understand the biology of the ticks and then you have to judiciously use the available chemical acaricides along with the herbal acaricides. Presently, we do not have much weapon against ticks. So we have to be satisfied with these only. One acaricide comes after research for many years and the company who spends the money will try to get it back. So that's why research on that particular aspect is also low.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for answering this question. I think this question we have already taken up regarding papillomatosis. Are there any other questions? I think tick control strategies in respect, Dr. Banerjee has already narrated you about this in detail. How early embryonic death could be diagnosed?
Okay, sir. That embryonic death is two types: early embryonic death, late embryonic death, and fetal mortality. So, if it is a coming before, means if embryo dies before MRP, means before 16 to 17 days. So that is comes under category of early embryonic death. Our diagnosis, you are means there is perfect stress detection. You are doing AI with perfectly in proper condition with fertile bull. Then also if animal is repeating at an interval of 18 to 21 days for minimum 2 to 3 consecutive stress, then it is a clear case of early embryonic death. For treatment and management of early embryonic death, you have to support the animal with antioxidant as well as progesterone supplementation. So CIDR or else hydroxyprogesterone injection will be the good to prevent the embryonic death along with antioxidant supplementation.
Thank you. Again, a question related to tick, sprinkling of lime.
These are all, sir, these are all very casual approaches and no scientific validation is there.
Yeah.
So I cannot comment on these.
Right.
Lime cannot kill ticks as far as I know because of the hard tegument or cuticle the ticks are provided with. So it is very difficult. Their body outer covering of the tick is such that not much of the acaricides or any other unconventional matter will be effective.
Right. Thank you. Artificial induction of lactation.
So this artificial lactation, induction lactation, it is not much successful in buffalo. It is the most successful in the crossbred animal. Even it is a poorly successful in our indigenous cattle also. And moreover, I should not encourage artificial induction of lactation because many times this hormonal precipitates come into the milk, and when your family member are consuming that milk, chances of PCO will be there in case of female. and the male sterility may also be there. So better not to practice this kind of things. Especially in case of buffalo. Buffalo is the meat animal, you can go for slaughter, means you can dispose of animal also. That is not an issue.
Thank you. I think there are treatment of herbal formulation for improving hemoglobin levels. Medicine, Dr. Demri. Any herbal or local formulation, a top question?
Yes, herbs which are rich in iron. They can be used as this for improving erythropoiesis. They'll be good for blood formation.
Okay, thank you. Treatment.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, there is one question on LSD.
Where?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is the present goat pox vaccine at current dose confirms immunity up to what time period for control of LSD? And will the homologous vaccine confirm better immunity for future annual revaccination protocols?
The vaccine, I mean, the immunity duration is about 1 year using goatpox vaccine. Similarly, for homologous lumpy skin disease vaccine, also immunity persists for 1 year. So you have to repeat vaccination after 1 year.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
How can we prevent prepartum prolapse during the dry period after giving every possible treatment?
Actually, really it's become sometimes problem in few animals to control prepartum prolapse. The only things is the managemental things. You go for complete night fasting of that particular cattle or buffalo. Almost you stop feeding after 4 o'clock, or you can say 3 o'clock itself. Then there will be rumen emptiness will be there. So it will reduce the tendency of prepartum prolapse. Along with that, you have to see infection, irritation, and calcemic factor also. So you can give 5 ml GnRH also, and also you can administer 450 ml through systemic route calboral also. Along with washing of hind quarter, including vagina through syringe or EI sheath for 3 to 4 days with 1% potassium permanganate water. So in up to some extent you will get the relief through prepartum prolapse.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think there are no more questions. So I would like to thank co-chairman Dr. Birbal, rapporteur Dr. Suman, and coordinators of this session, Dr. Rinku and Dr. Akhilesh, for coordinating this event. Now we are at the end of this interface meet, concluding remarks from our Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Triveni Dutt, sir.
Dear colleagues, a very good evening to all of you. So we had a detailed discussions about the various issues related to the environment and situations of Himachal Pradesh, and our esteemed officials working in the field, they have come up with a very nice issues, and some of the issues are really very important. And although we have partially addressed some issues, and some issues really would like to take up in our the researchable agenda as a researchable issues. So this interface really we find very interesting that some of our officials, they have come up with a very academic and the researchable agenda. So although we have whatever the informations we have generated over the period of time at our institute, we have tried to reply to the various concern or issues raised by officials. But some of the issues are really very important to be taken up as a researchable issues. So these issues will be taken up as our the research agenda, and these ATRs are to be prepared for the next our interface meet. And for this meeting, we are really very grateful to the Director, State Department of Animal Husbandry, Dr. P.K. Sharma ji, who has really encouraged our officials to come on board and discuss freely and frankly the issues related to the state. And we are also very thankful to our our expert who have really flagged the issues and how these issues can be solved in the field, and followed by the proper the way forward based on the issues raised by our various veterinary officials. And these type of interface meeting, these are the really very interesting for all of us, in order to decide our researchable agendas. And you see, based on these questions are very really important for all of us. And these questions will not be only used to decide or to include the issues to be researched upon, but these questions are also necessary for all of us to include in our various the platforms which we have developed during the last 5 to 7 years. These ICT platforms, and now we have come up with the various very important based on our various questions chat, our voice chat. So these questions may also be included in various our ICT platforms. And now my submission to all the officials, these issues which we have raised today, you may find another important issues in due course of time. So kindly please do not hesitate to interact with our expert and officials. We have the websites, and in each and every expert's address, email addresses we have mentioned in our websites. So if you have some queries to be interact or to be discussed with our officials, so we will be very happy to share our ideas with all the officials. So my submission to all of you, don't stop your interaction here. Kindly keep on interacting with our expert and officials at our institutes. And we have a list along with the phone numbers and mail ID at our websites. These experts are related to various field of your interest. And my other submission that whenever the State Department of Animal Husbandry requires our help, not only the solutions and other product required product, but any requirement regarding the capacity building of the state officials, various categories of the state official, kindly let us know what type of the capacity building programs required for the state. So accordingly, the capsule oriented programs we can devise for our officials. Although all the required the state required capacity building programs we have already advertised and advertised in the form of various diploma, certificate, and vocational education courses. So these courses are 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, and 1 year diploma courses. So PG diploma courses. So these are the new initiatives this deemed university have taken. So please let us know what kind of capacity building programs are really required for the state line department. And as far as other the requirement like the seed or culture or some kind of diagnostics or any goods and services which IVRA is providing, kindly we have a very this innovative applications, mobile applications in the name of IVRA technology and services, I think. So so kindly use that our platform, ICT platform, this mobile applications. So in this mobile applications we have given the detailed information about the technology developed, technologies related to health, production, and value additions, and designs developed, copyrights received, and other informations related to the services which we are providing to the various kind of stakeholder from IVRI. So these are the various around 40 plus applications and 25 plus educational videos we have developed. Kindly look at our ICT platforms, and these platforms may be very useful for your capacity building program. And this medicinal, surgical, and this educational video related to the medicine, gynecological, and surgical interventions we have prepared, especially for officials working in the field. And also some of the important applications regarding the this goods and services provided by the institutes, and also other scientific package of practices to be followed for different categories of animals, and the clinical services, some of the important you see interventions related to medicine, surgical, and gynecological. We have developed one important application. So these are the various platforms we have already developed. Whenever you find some difficulty, kindly let us know. If you find some problems or some suggestions using these suggestions on various applications, kindly mail. We have a linked mail also, linked this facility also. So kindly give your suggestions so that these platforms can also be improved. And my submission to all of you, we have a very robust this online veterinary clinic platform. So that platform is really working very nice. Kindly be on board on that platforms, and in that platform we have 30+ expert. So whenever you feel difficult, you can be on board, ask and you can interact with our expert, so that you will have a ready solutions. In brief, we have to make a greater collaborations with the expert of the institute and with the institute, so that we can both sincerely with high level of dedication can serve to the livestock owner of the state. So with this brief, I am really grateful to all of you. Thank you very much. I am also grateful to our team who has really worked day and night to organize this very important interface meeting. And thanks to Dr. Roopsi Tiwari and her team, Dr. Surti and other officials. And thanks to our distinguished head of divisions, distinguished joint directors, and distinguished expert who made it possible to interact with the officials of the State Line Department. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you all, dear participants. Now we conclude this session. Thank you.
Thank you very much.